Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mr. Pillow, and it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you back to, once again, the Awesomenauts Rumble Doubles Tournament Qualifiers. For those of you who aren't in the know, this is a tournament where we have two qualifiers this weekend, and people are playing round-robin brackets to accumulate points, and those with enough points that they get by winning their matches will be proceeding on to our playoffs bracket next week. Which will be a double elimination tournament where the grand prize winner will be receiving $150 plus art commissions by lucky time. With that said, joining me today is the wonderful, everybody knows he doesn't need an introduction, Edster.
Hey, it's good to be here. I am excited to cast for this. 2 versus 2 is an interesting format. And, you get some very interesting drafts, some interesting games. The gameplay is a little bit more paced out, but you get some very exciting moments, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this qualifier has in store for us today. Pillow, I think, I don't think there's much we need to talk about. I think we should just get straight into the first game.
Indeed, it is Aggro Master Race versus Dave. Aggro Master Race is Luca Pal and Shao. Dave is Spade and Ubi. Edster, why don't you talk to us about these drafts? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so we're looking at Aggro Master Race. They're going to have Team 1 for this first game. Dave, they're going to be on Team 2. The map is going to be Serona. Very interesting in a 2v2 situation. Aggro Master Race, they're going to start off with a Sentry ban. Dave are going to respond with a Vinny ban. Aggro Master Race is going to go ahead and ban the Penny. And then Blue Team, Dave, they're going to ban out Leon. So we have Sentry, Vinny, Penny, and Leon banned before any of the picks. Aggro Master Race are then going to pick up Xenia as a first pick. Very, very strong in Serona, and especially in a 2 vs 2 format. Just overall, great note. Dave are then going to respond by picking up a Swiggins. Again, very strong note, nice to initiate, gives you the ability to find kills almost anywhere. And if they have some nice damage off the back of that, then we'll definitely be seeing some ganking potential coming from Team Dave. Following this, Aggro Master Race, they're going to ban out Skulldare. Dave are going to ban the Frog, and then the last picks are going to be Coco for Aggro Master Race and Lone Star for Dave. So we're looking at Xenia Coco versus Swiggins and Lone Star. These are some interesting comps. The mobility is definitely on the side of Aggro Master Race, and that helps a lot in these 2v2 fights. You can run away, you can wait for your cooldowns to come back, you can really spread the fights over a nice long distance, so they definitely have that going for them. Throw on Xenia's invis, you can attack from anywhere really, but the big question is, if Team Dave are able to get kills using the lockdown with Swiggins, then the push that they have is immense. Really good tower damage from Swiggins and Lone Star, and just good clearing overall. So I think this is going to be a very, very close match. What do you think, Pillow?
Well, I think, and first of all, I forgot to say this, we are doing our bet system once again today. So if you type red or blue into the chat, you have until the end of the draft screen. If you guess correctly, you want to type which team you think is going to win, you'll be eligible for a giveaway after the match. So to reiterate that, type red or blue, the one that you think is going to win, and if you guess correctly, after the match, you get a giveaway. You have until our scene transitions to Awesomenauts and our draft talk is done to get your guesses in. That said, my thoughts are, I think Ksenia Serona is really underrated. There's kind of a group of Seronauts, the way there's rivet knots like Ted or Durple. People think of Seronauts as Penny, Benny, Frog, the ones that are really mobile. And Ksenia, I think it's just as solidly and firmly in that category, but I don't see anyone ever really mentioning her as a Seronaut. And it kind of perplexes me. I think she can run circles around and can be extremely difficult to tie down. They will have the anchor to try and catch her, but even then, when you consider the fact that she can go stealth, that she can Vitro Girl, that she can has a double jump, and considering the kind of bungee cord flexibility that the anchor dive seems to have nowadays, I think it will be very, very difficult to find some of these kills. When we consider a not like Lone Star, in order to land all of his damage on a Ksenia, it has to practically go right into her face. That's I think Ksenia can do a lot of work here, and considering the fact that she can basically insta-give with Coco is very spooky. On the flip side of things, if Swiggins can find that clean initiation, and it'll be a lot easier to find this on the Coco, a little bit bigger of a hitbox and a lot slower moving, then that's, especially late game, can just melt the enemy team. Late game, if he can find that nice clean initiation, he'll hardly even need the Lone Star to follow up if he builds properly. And when the Lone Star does follow up, you'll just see Knots just erase out of existence on the red team. So definitely be one of those things that they'll have to play carefully around the Swiggins. But I think that if the teams are playing at the same skill level, then it would it's going to be Dave's team that wins. But Aggro Master Race only has to be a little bit better. Like, the skill floor for beating Dave's comp is not as high as it is for other comps, if that makes sense. I think I worded that correctly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm also going to go on the train and say that Dave is going to win this game. Just based on, as you said, the late game potential of Swiggins being able to pretty much insta-kill someone by himself. I think that's going to be enough to push him over the edge. But we will see, because there is definite potential for Aggro Master Race to win this. I think the only thing we can really do is get into the game and find out.
All right, I'm going to give you guys 5 more seconds to go ahead and get those red and blue guesses in. Again, who you think is going to win. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And with that, would you like to give us a countdown? I'm at the 12-second mark, my friend.
When you said that, did that mean go on the game, or was that
no, that was the bet thing.
Okay, I need to rewind a bit then.
No.
Okay, I am back at 12 seconds. Do you want me to count
Go
down?
for it, my friend.
Okay, I will give us a countdown. We will go on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, and we are off. On the red side, you have Lukapal playing your Coco. You have Shaw playing your Kesnia. And on the blue side, you have Lone Star being played by Spade and Ubi playing his signature Swiggins. Ed, how do you think the first blood's going to go down, my friend?
I think the first blood might take a while. I think what might happen, I think it's all going to come off the back of the Swiggins going in. Whether that results in a kill for the Swiggins, or if it results in the Swiggins being nuked by a bunch of damage and dying. But we will have to see, as the Lone Star and the Xenia getting quite low trading abilities. Again, Ubi doing well, landing quite a few hooks here. He's opted to not go for the anchored drop and instead go straight into that AoE hook. Quite a strange choice when you consider it's a 2v2, but he's definitely making it work at the moment. It's a nice bit of zoning and kind of forces the other team to not be able to group up. And we're seeing a little bit of early push coming from the Lone Star as a result of just pushing in a little bit.
I'll be honest, like things like that anchor on Luca right there. If he had an anchor hook, would he not be able to set up a first blood if Spade came in and did that right there? I think he's actually missed out on some potential by doing this.
Possibly, but you know, we have to consider that there's also a lot of lane clearing involved in this, and if you can hook someone next to droids, then you know you're going to clear a lane for free as well. So there's a lot of things to consider. We'll be getting a nice bit of worm farm, and that's going to cement a nice little early game lead for Team Dave right now.
Indeed, and we're seeing they're constantly hitting all these folks, and we saw Coco get out dangerously low, and that's the one I said, you know, it's going to be a lot easier for them to focus and target. A little bit of an engagement coming out right there. Spade being careful. He knows that the guessing is invisible right there. Trying to see if they can get the sneaky worm kill in. It's not going to happen, and the Solar gets successes. They're going to get the droids pushed up on top. Nothing really happening right now. It's a very neutral match. We're seeing a piggy bank actually come out on Ubi now into Flying Fish Compass. That is the cooldown reduction. That's going to have to wait because here comes the pull, and he's going to get pushed out. He's going to go under the worm. They're not aware. There's no worm kills that's going to happen. The anchor dive is going to be a miss on Shaw. He's half. He's going to go ahead and take the jump pad. Luco going to see if he can get some residual damage. He gets both he doesn't get the blaze, and almost does, but the lightning ball is going to push Ubi back to his jungle. We'll have to consume all his creeps so he can go back in lane.
Yeah, that lightning ball was surprisingly clutch. It actually cancelled Ubi's anchor as well. It was in the process of firing, so very nice timing on that. If that anchor had hit the Coco might have died there. But we're looking at an anchor in on the Xenia. Xenia is very low. The last A not quite able to land from Ubi, and now a ball is going to miss. We're looking at Ubi's build. It's very, very interesting. Going for this cooldown, it's very, very suited to the 2 vs 2 format, where if you can just keep poking your opponents with damage at every possible opportunity, you can keep them low and then you can push. The Lone Star's job is to push, and at the moment, Ubi's playing for a poking build rather than a team fighting build, and it's very, very interesting to see the Swiggins up for this.
It really is. It's something that I've seen AoE before Anchor Hook a couple of times competitive. I've never seen cooldown before Anchor Hook, and then he's really making it work, showing that there is some more build variety to Swiggins than people suspect. Shaw's getting extremely low there. He's going to roll out and go ahead, and looks like he found some health. And they're really on the defense now, and it's given Ubi free control of the worm, which that is extremely significant. Ubi gonna get lightning balled out, gonna consume the health resources, mid control falls back to Aggro Master Race. One of the things that when you control the worm and you clear both droids with it, that's actually extremely good if your teammates are coordinated on holding mid for you, because not only are you increasing your solar per minute by 30. You are decreasing the enemy's team's solar per minute by 30 and denying them XP. It is an immense snowballing tool, and if you let yourself have to play on the defense constantly on Sirona and are not able to take mid, a team that warm farms on you can pull so far ahead that there is almost no way you can come back unless you make an aggressive play and just get a kill or two. This might happen right now. The entirety of Dave going in on Shaw. He's in 1 HP. He's looking to see if he can sneak back across. He's in a very bad situation. He knows it, but the anchor dive is going to be a whiff, and he's going to future roll to the left, take the jump head, and he is out. The whiff abilities here. Now Lugo is in an extremely dangerous position. He's going to get some blaze on Ubi and get out. I cannot believe that we did not just see a first blood there, Edster. What exactly did Dave do wrong to lose that kill?
Well, it was interesting because Ksenia was just had enough health, and she played very calmly. She just waited out of the range of the other team, and that's something in 2 vs 2 you can do quite a lot. You know, there's only 2 people you have to juke away with. There is almost a worm kill onto Shelda coming out from Ubi, but he managed to roll away at the last second. As I was saying, in 2 vs 2 format, you really can kind of space out carefully. You only have 2 people to juke rather than 3. That's a ball hitting onto Lone Star. Lone Star's very low, and now it's just Ubi alone. He manages to land the double anchor. Luco getting a little bit ballsy, maybe. No, he decides to turn around, pull the wave. And now we're seeing the map control go in the favor of Team Aggro Master Race, but, like, they don't really have the health to keep this advantage up. We're seeing 1 stage of regen on the Coco, kind of keeps her in lane a little bit, but they're just being kind of bombarded by this poke coming from the Swiggins with the cooldown build. And of course, anytime they go in for a brawl, the Lone Stars, they're right there with the double damage face smite now. And there's the double damage face smite. That's the first blood onto the Coco. Very well played from Spade there.
He just snuck in there and just assassinated her. That even wasn't really the result of a team fight. He just saw the jump pad. He knew that, or no, it wasn't even a jump pad. She was just going directly left, and he just caught up and just smacked her down. And he already has both ranks of his dynamite damage, the Trinamite, and just, wow. He kind of raced her out of existence for the first blood. I don't think anybody realized that that was about to happen. I mean, it was like one of those standard things that was like so vanilla that it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, it was kind of the result of just the red team being so low all the time. You know, it's a big problem. If you're not able to maintain full HP, you can't really pick a fight. But what can happen is the enemy team can pick a fight on you at almost any point. And Spade played that to his advantage and found the pick off there. Spade now a little bit low, but he does have double regen, so if he just plays a little bit passive, he should be fine. Xenia firing some scissors at Dave. Not Dave. Oh my, no, it is Dave, but it's Dave Spade. This is very confusing. But yeah.
Oh, he might get a kill right here. They're trying to hunt down Shaw, and he finds it right off the jump end. Knows. I really like the patience that Ubi exhibited there. A lot of people would have gone ahead and fire off their abilities preemptively and given Shaw some juking potential there. Ubi was patient and knew that eventually Ksenia would run out of her height and run out of her jump and would just automatically have to fall. That's when it's easiest to hit your target. They run the most predictable trajectory, and that is how he absolutely nailed that anchor dive last time.
Yeah, I mean, if we take a look at the damage graphs at the moment, the blue team is, you know, storming ahead really. They're making it consistently ahead for the entire time. It's been a couple of variations, red team getting a little bit closer every now and then, but it's just nowhere near really, and it's the Lone Star that's contributing most of that damage towards the blue team's total damage output.
Indeed, and that if they keep on happening this, I think the damage Ksenia can put on later is a lot more than the other team, but I think Ubi especially is going to be the one that finds it easiest to contribute the highest percentage of this damage. And
this might be
going down here again. She's trying to find the kill, but she's a sneaky beaver right there. Goes in biz. Ubi not exactly sure where to toss this anchor dive at, and she's going to live to see another day as she clears up top. What are some of the things that Shaw and Luco can do to really help cement their control of mid and not get poked out of it?
They need to basically they need to do what Dave is doing to them at the moment. They need to just poke the enemy as much as possible. I mean, both the players on Dave are rocking double regen at the moment, so that's going to be quite difficult for them to do. But if they can just keep them low, keep it so that if they take one ability or take a few abilities, they are going to be in a position where they will die. If you just keep them from being at full HP all the time, then they're going to be less confident about kind of storming in using their abilities as kind of wildly as they are right now. One thing that is worth noting is you mentioned how good Xenia is on Serona on this match. Xenia is extremely good on Serona, but on this match, 2 notes that she's against are very, very awkward for Xenia to engage on. You've got a bull kind of stopping any, consistent damage output coming from the Lone Star. Although, that is going to be a kill on the Lone Star right there. I spoke way too soon right there. But, Xenia going for it. Nice amount of AAs, but Ubi was able to get both of the creeps. He's now got a health back. If the Coco's not careful, that might be a kill. But he didn't opt for going for the Coco. He went straight for the Xenia.
Might actually pick it up here. He looks like he's about to go in, and wow, they're hanging out way too long against Wiggins right here. Plain and simple, they're not landing like the amount of damage that they need to, and still keep on. Their mentality is like it's 1v2. We can do this now. A big fight coming out. Ubi, they're both going to disengage now. Ubi's going back on the hunt. He's not ready to let this fight go over, and he finds Ksenia, takes him out, and that's going to be a chat. Our first double kill of the day. First person to say double in the chat will be receiving a piece of DLC. That was just, they played that really bad against Wiggins. They got so confident, even though they were both. Ubi was basically full HP, and they were both within 1 anchor dive of dying, and they both were like, hey, it's 1v2. Let's just go take him out now, and like went into his face. Now Lugo's 1v2ing, and they're both full HP. Now she's trying to do what Ubi did, but unfortunately she's going to be going down, and she just basically gets the entirety of Dave. She completely collapsed on her.
This is a huge momentum swing for Team Dave right now. Before it was relatively even. Dave were definitely slightly ahead, but the fights could have gone anyway. Right now, it's looking very, very much in Dave's favor. With this cooldown damage anchor build on this Swiggins, they're really able to brawl characters effectively. And talks about the lockdown being a big feature. It's really just the burst and keeping people low.
And we actually see Bovinian postcard. Actually, this is going to wait. Ubi's going to get lightning balled into the turret and then take last hit by Shaw. Nice clean pickup, and that is exactly what Aggro Master Race really needed right now in order to try and swing the momentum back in their favor. Spade is going to stay in the territory of the red team. Sees if he cannot buy the time. He probably should be able to do this relatively safe. If they're going to try and pick a fight and force 2v1, they need to do it now. No, but doesn't look like they're really going to find their opportunity. And Spade's going in. He's trying to find the dynamite. He's not going to land it, but he's got Bovinian postcard. And one of the things he's going to mention, that's a cooldown reduction on his dynamite for every auto attack tick he hits. And so he can constantly sling those out, especially if he properly tracks this auto attack. That's just one of the big things that can really just, as we said, it's that constant poke, keeping the HP down. They're fishing out the abilities here. Anchor dive, lightning ball, knives, all misses. Dynamite going to clear the droids. Wow, look how constantly he's just swinging that anchor dive. Even if he misses, he doesn't care because he has it back so fast.
Yeah, definitely. This Swiggins, he's built it perfectly for the 2v2 situation. Because, the lockdown, as good as it is, it's on Serona, you can't... People can still jump around the anchor, and when you're dealing with the mobile notes of Coco and Xenia, it can still be quite hard to hit them.
He still doesn't have anchor hook, does he?
Yeah, he doesn't have it. He doesn't need it. He's just getting enough damage in at the moment. And we're looking at a nice spot where Xenia's trying to do something. She's getting her damage up, but she's just taking too much damage in the process. She goes down, and now we're looking at Coco versus Swiggins. Here comes the anchor. The anchor whiffs, actually, and the Coco's going to live. Wow, that might have just saved them the game for a while. There's a potential for them to get a kill, maybe come back from this. But if Coco died then, I think that would have been GG right there and then.
It more than likely would have. They would have 100% taken back turn, and at that point, they would have snowballed so hard, they would have had a 2-level advantage, possibly 3. That there would have been so little they could do, but now she can actually defend. Coco's not terrible at defending against this comp. It's not the ideal defense situation, but it's better her defending than Ksenia is because she does have the lightning balls. That said, this turret is still going down. It's got a mere 3 bars left. If they want to preserve this turret, they're going to have to make an offensive play right now, which Coco looks like she's coming in for the full swing. She's going to go in. Needs to land that lightning ball. There it is, and Ubi is going to be going down. Spade's just going to be hanging back a bit. He's going to go back into the red team's jungle, try and take their creeps with a big aerial dynamite, trying to see if he can get a teleport bait going. He is being very confident here. He knows he's 1v2. They know that he knows he's 1v2, and he's saying, hey, let's tango. They're going to get some knife folks to soften him up, but that's something that Transfusion Dynamite can't fix. And now he's ready to go ahead and try a bullpen, but it's going to be a miss. He's in a really bad situation now. He's going to be going down. The bull miss meant that the Coco could completely counter-initiate on him, melt down his health bar. And now their first real push for Aggro Master Race is coming out. Ubi trying to scare them off. And he's got a health back. He's got his cooldown ready.
Are we going to see the Swiggins 1v2 again? Are we going to see it again? We might do. I mean, we're looking at both players from Team Agromaster is not at full HP. The Xenia is 1 anchor away from dying. But yeah, I mean, again, most of the deaths this game have just been from people staying in lane when they're not in the when they don't have the health to do it. The last death we saw from the Lone Star, that was a bit different. That was just he took a fight 1 versus 2 when you really shouldn't have done. But you know, we're seeing Agromaster as a bit of a comeback here. They are landing some abilities, getting some damage in, and they've got a little bit of push on that bottom tower. They've got some money to get some upgrades now. We're looking at double pills being bought on the Coco. It's going to help them a bit against this burst. You know, they do have the damage they need to get these kills, so it definitely isn't over. Like there isn't a situation where Agromaster can't. You know, they're not at the point when they can no longer get kills, and it's basically just a matter of time. You know, they still can if they're able to cleverly bait their abilities now.
Indeed, and it looks like we get a big engagement coming out there, and then they're just going to fall back. They're going to get that poke. Ubi will go ahead, and he's seeing if he can find the next one, but the lightning ball is going to push him back. Looks like that actually canceled the anchor dive once again. I didn't quite see if he was proccing it. Nope, he still has that ability, but he is going to see if he can recuperate some of his health as he waits to get going once again. And the droid, they're just going to be clearing droids, waiting for their opportunity. There's not much Shaw and Luco can do while they wait to try and curb some of the momentum that is just so strongly in favor of Spade right now. But Spade is going to go, Spade and Newbie are going to go in. They're looking for the initiation. The Bull's going to keep Luco from escaping. The anchor dive is a miss. Now Luco is trying to just kite. They're in a very strong kiting game right now. That anchor dive miss meant that they're in an awkward position that allows Spade and Ubi to go ahead and start pushing. Just going to force the hand of Shaw and Luco to go ahead and fall back. There's the flank. We should see the team fight coming out now. Luco extremely low. He's going to manage to make it to the base. Spade not quite in time to cut him off. Now it's the Cassini on defense. Not much he can do. There's the anchor dive. There's the Bull. Shaw going in, trying to stop him down. Going to get hit by the dynamite. Very, very bad situation. Now the Coco's going in. There's the lightning ball. He needs to be extremely careful. We should see Cassini coming back as she consumes the creeps. They know it, that she's going to be there. There's the anchor dive just ready for him. And
Agromaster really need to find a kill here. They're getting pretty desperate. The base is taking damage, and honestly, the way the regen's going, it seems like every fight, even though they're fighting in the base, it seems like the blue team are leaving with more health than the red team each time. So they need to find something.
Ooh, and that's unlucky. They need to find the relevant silence, because last time I saw Spade get silenced, he was going to be teleporting back as he is 1 bar. Yubi's going to set up this huge
this droid wave. But it looks like the kind of the push has died down. The Lone Star went back to spend, and the momentum has kind of stabilized a little bit. But
Shaw needs to find that relevant silence. Oh, they're trying to find them off the cliff, but both abilities are going to be whiffed. This is their chance. There's the lightning ball. There's the knives. Spade is so low. He's trying to get out there, trying to track him down. He's going to juke him on the jump pad, and he's going to run left. He's going to pick up a health pack, and now he can quickly get his dynamite back for the transfusion right here. He's going to go ahead and try and predict him coming around the lip. They know not to get into the dynamite there, but he still gets health around that. Anyways, now he's going to push Luco into Ubi, who body blocks Luco, but it's going to take a lightning ball to the face. He might be going down here. Shaw trying to track, and he finds the last hit, and now they are going to fall back. They are not healthy enough to really take on Spade here. They better not let themselves get dynamite. It's the same situation earlier where 1 dynamite will kill either of them, despite it being 1v2. And they seem to have learned their mistake. Now Coco coming in with a flank, ready to take on Spade, who's going to 1 HP. He's trying to do this. He can make the dynamite kill if he's just, it's going to be a wipe. That was so close. He came so close to clutching that. He was about to show us the magical wonders of Bovinian postcard.
It was a shame he whiffed his dynamite. I think like where he really needs to hit the trinamite. He was waiting for the droids to arrive from the red team, but he just did it slightly too early, so the AoE didn't clip the droids. If he'd done that, he would have gained about half his health back. Probably would have been fine. But Spade just throwing that in a little bit too early.
Dude, the names are throwing me off.
The names are so trippy. It's oh god.
That's probably why they made this team name, just to mess with the casters.
Yeah, definitely. We don't condone this kind of behavior.
Tomfoolery.
We're looking at Shell. Yeah, Shell's going to go down, and Coco's in a bad spot. The anchor is going to whiff, but the Lone Star looking for it.
Oh, that was a nice dodge.
I think Spade can just sit in the base, and I don't think Luco can do anything. Like, I don't think the Coco can stop this push, even if she hits everything right now. Yeah, I think it's over. It's over.
Oh yeah, nothing. That's going to be your first game. It is going to be going in favor of Team Dave. All right, so we've already talked a little bit about this, but what should Lukopal and Shaw have done to have won this?
What they needed to have done differently is they just needed to not get hit by all this damage. You know, it might seem a bit counterintuitive, but if they'd have just stuck by their tower a lot for the early game, because the times they did find kills or were in the when Team Dave, they were pushing a tier 2 tower, Coco came from behind or above, and they got the ball, knocked someone into the tower, and then they hit them with a few scissors. That was the kill. If they'd have done that from like the get-go, just stay behind tower, wait for Dave and Ubi to push up, and then drop on them with a Coco ball, hit them with a few scissors. You know, it might have even been worth the Xenia going for an early knockback scissor build, so she could knock someone into the tower, because it was just so awkward for them to engage in a traditional way against the Swiggins as such a, with the kind of cooldown disruption build, and then we had Lone Star with Bull. Very, very hard for them to find a sort of standard fight, so they needed to really sort of cheese them out a lot in the early game, and if they'd just done that for a while, made sure they kept relatively even on solo, they could have found a double kill and then pushed up from where they were, but they were a little bit too aggressive in the early game. They just kept on getting poked down, and they were kind of just a little bit too indecisive against this poke. You know, if you're at half HP, what do? Do you stay in lane or do you go back and get health? Do you go to your top health? No, the top health is gone because someone already took it 3 seconds ago, you know. They needed to decide what they were doing instead of just being indecisive in front of their tower and just playing straight into the game of straight into the hands of Team Dave.
Indeed, you pretty much just nailed it, and they kept on just fighting some of the worst fights they could. They got a little bit outdrafted here, and the way that they just couldn't. It's like they couldn't accept the times when they didn't have map control. They were like, they wanted to believe, yeah, we got the map control. No, you just don't. And it would lead to their deaths. Like there was that 1v2 that we had talked about where Ubi had just taken out both of them because they both went in at less health than the damage that one anchor dive dealt, and they both died. And it was like, well, that's what happens. Like, you don't get to be there right there when it takes you like 5 seconds to kill someone, and it takes them 1 click to kill you. Like, you've been forced out of that position. That's how Awesomenauts work.
They just didn't know what they were doing at that point. They hadn't quite decided if they were going to try and kill Spade, or if they were going to back off. Kill Ubi, or if they were going to back off. Because, you know, if they decided to back off, that's fine. If they decided to kill him, they probably could have done, and, you know, they could have got a lot of health. But they kind of just teetered back and forth on the border of both, and then, you know, they died for it. I think Team Dave had a really clear plan from the get-go of this, and that was to get the cooldown anchor, keep poking them. Lone Star's going to build for damage so he can nuke in team fights and keep the push up, and then we're both going to go regen and just poke them down and push. That was their plan. They stuck to it. Whereas, you know, I don't think Aggro Master Race, the plan they had, it just seems to be play Awesomenauts. Whereas, you know, this is a 2v2. You have to play this. The fights are different. You've got a plan. You've got to know what you're doing. And I think Dave were just a bit more prepared for this game.
All right. Well, with nothing else to add, I'm going to go ahead and take us a break. We will be right back. We will be doing a number space giveaway in the chat. And do not go anywhere, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is Awesomenauts Rumble Doubles Tournament. With me once again is the wonderful Edster. You still with her, but still with me there, buddy. Okay, I don't know English language. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just letting you stumble over your words because it's funny.
Thanks, Gabe.
Yeah. I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to casting more games tonight because, it's doubles. It's a different tournament than we're used to, and casting anything is nice and fun.
You like casting anything? So if we had something else that we could cast, that would be pretty cool too, right?
Oh, Pillow, you are a wordsmith of many forms, but this is a genius intro into the next topic, which I hope you're going to mention now, because if it's not, then I've just interpreted your words wrong, and this would be insanely awkward. Go.
Well,
please,
with that said, what if we were to cast something called the Scrim Show?
Oh! He did it.
We did it, Reddit. I said something that didn't sound dumb. This is the first for me. So, if you guys weren't aware, the Scrim Show is a series where we take scrimmages from the competitive community. It's basically like tournament matches, except it's not in a tournament, with drafts and everything, and we cast them. We ran this series last year. By we, I mean me and not Rumble, because Rumble didn't come up till last September. But from March or April to July, and we're bringing it back. We don't know the exactly when yet, but it is in the works. It is being developed, it is being produced, and you can find out more information about it by going to our Steam group. We will post details there when we know it, and following us on Twitch so you can see when we go live and you know that we're streaming something cool. And speaking of streaming something cool, because I'm that much of a wordsmith, you know what I think would be pretty cool to stream, Ed?
Is it Edster's salmon cooking recipe? No, it's not.
No.
I'm disappointed.
No.
Oh, is it game 2 between Team Dave and Team Agro Master Race?
How'd you know?
I'm just so good at guessing. Wow, this is probably really cringy, but whatever.
I mean, it is you casting, so yes.
Yeah, of course. I think we should get into this draft. Mr. Pillow, do you have the draft on screen? Because I am about to go through.
I do.
Take us through.
Bring it out, boy.
Okay, so looking at this draft, this is the second game. This is going to be an Aggie on. We're looking at Team Dave having Team 1, Team Agro Master Race being Team 2. Team Dave with the first ban, they're going to ban at Sentry. Agro Master Race, they're going to respond with a Xenia ban. Dave are going to ban Frog. Agro Master Race are going to ban the Penny. Looking at the first picks for each team, we're looking at Leon being picked up by Dave and Genji being picked up by Agro Master Race. Following this, Dave are going to ban out Swiggins. Agro Master Race, they're going to ban out Lone Star. And then the final picks, we're going to be looking at Vinny for Team Dave and Clunk for Team Agro Master Race. Now, these comps are something you don't get to see every day. You're looking at a very, very gank-heavy comp with Leon Vinny, and then you're looking at Genji Clunk, which is one of the classic combos when it comes to Awesomenauts. You get the Cocoon, and it's a free setup for Explode. It's that simple. And as well, it's just insane tankiness. So it's going to be interesting. It's a nice counter to the gank build that we're looking at from Dave. Dave's build, obviously, very good. You tongue someone in, you dash them, you throw in the silence from this tongue and from the dive, potentially, or you just go max damage on a dive for just that extra ganking potential. And, you have a lot of potential to find a kill, but finding a kill on a Clunk who's got a Monarch Blessing is going to be difficult. So they're mostly going to be looking for the Genji with these tongue pickoffs. It's going to come down to how much sustained damage Team Dave are going to be able to put out. If they can land a lot of AAs, then I think it's going to go their way. But if the fight ends up being very, very quick, not giving Team Dave enough time to put out more damage in their initial burst, I think Agro Master Race with just the bang, really, of the explode and the bite is going to be enough to find kills. Leon and Vinny, not very tanky Nauts. Yeah. I'm interested. What do you reckon, Pillow?
Well, Leon and Vinny is an easier combo, I think, to make happen. And they can get that Genji silence. Genji has one of the worst DPSs in the game. It's easy to land his auto attacks. His auto attack is typically considered good. But the fact of the matter is that even upgraded, he's going to be having a significantly lower damage output than the other guys. And while all the damage comes from Clunk, making their comp work mechanically, Genji is the bread and butter of it. If he can't get the Cocoon or Monarch Blessing off, I think, which is very likely, considering we can get silence from Leon, silence from Vinny, possibly range tongue silence from Leon. They can give him silence long enough to easily just squash that bug out of the sky. and then just kite Clunk and beat him up until he's either forced out of lane or dead. That said, mostly true early game and pretty much definitely from mid game onwards. As long as the Clunk is paying attention to Genji, every single cocoon will be a kill. I mean, every single one. There's, at most, if it's Leon that's cocooned, Benny could try and spike dive in to get a silence off of Clunk to try and buy Leon like half a second to escape. Leon can kind of do the same thing with trying to tongue the Clunk right before he procs explode, but it's a lot riskier. Like, I'm going to put it this way, 99% chance. Cocoon means you're dead. So, that said, Leon and both teams are going to kind of work in a way where they actively hunt around the map looking for kills, is the way I see this. I want to quickly mention, by the way, because I did neglect to mention, some of you guys are already doing so in the chat. If you think that go ahead and type which team you think is going to win. The top team is red, the bottom team is blue. Guess correctly in order to be eligible for a giveaway after the match. You have until we transition to the match, transition from this draft screen to gameplay to get your guesses in. So, do you have any more thoughts, Ed?
Well, I mean, if I were a betting man, why would I put my money? I think I'm probably going to go with Aggro Master Race, just because I reckon when it gets to that side, as you said, the mid-late game, the cocoon is an almost guaranteed kill. But what they also have is the ability to just stick with their droid wave, pick a lane, and go push it. And there's not much Team Dave can do to stop them. I mean, they're just so tanky and so difficult to engage if they just stick next to each other and, you know, support each other in these fights. As if they spread out and go for lots of lane rotations, you know. As I said last time, Team Dave, like, they came with a better plan in the last time, and they stuck with it and executed it. If Aggro Master Race, if their plan for this time is to just stick together and play to Genji Clunk's strengths, I really think they're going to have this over Dave. You know, I think it's if they get a bit sloppy, they find themselves getting picked off, that the match might tip in the favor of Team Dave. But overall, I'm going to go with Aggro Master Race for this game.
One thing we might see on Vinny, I wonder, is this is Ogulon anyway, so we see the potential of double stealth and as well as stealth Genji or Clunk, which is extremely dangerous. But what if he got Invis on Cloud? That is the upgrade that makes it so that any teammate that enters into his Cloud is invisible for 2 seconds until they use their next attack. The threat of an invisible spike dive and an invisible Leon tongue suddenly just silencing and bursting you, and then a couple of quick auto attacks will erase Genji and possibly quite hammer on Clunk. I think if they reach late games, and especially if they're having trouble trying to dent someone because of the Monarch Blessing, I think that would be what lets them get in and just completely demolish Genji before he has the chance to react.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about Invis. I mean, in the 2v2, you're kind of going to know where your opponents are almost at all times just from, you know, map awareness. There's not that many places they can be, and you only have to track 2 people rather than 3. So I think getting the jump on people like that, I don't think it's going to be as easy. I think where you find the opportunities is going to be where you force people to rotate. You know, you clear a lane quickly on one lane, it forces them to rotate down, and maybe one of them stays up, and then you find the one that rotates down, or you find the one that stays up. You know, if you can separate, if Dave were able to separate Aggro Master Race, then I think we'll be finding kills there. I think the Vinny's Cloud build, he might even opt to weaken Cloud as a potential, you know, maybe even weaken CC immunity and speed up on Cloud as a kind of Zoidberg effect if he ever gets cocooned. You know, he throws down the Cloud and screams whoop, 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 as he tries to run away, hoping the burst isn't enough to kill him. You know,
I actually think you're right. I didn't even think about weaken Cloud, and that might be what's key here, because what is it, 30% damage reduction?
That's 25 or 30%. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to look at it.
I'm sure we'll see it quickly.
Yeah, we'll see it.
I completely forgot about that. That is a counter to Clunk, like straight up. Like you put that Clunk is a team fighting knot, like, and when you put their top is whole, like, hey, fight in this one specific spot. The Aggro Master Race is this, and when Vinny puts his Cloud in that one specific spot, they should be able to survive the explode. I didn't even think about that. My money's now on Dave. It was on Aggro Master Race until you said that.
Yeah, I'm still going to stick one against this Aggro Master Race. But without further ado, I think we should put our theories to the test. Right. Are you going to give people maybe a few more seconds just to wrap up the betting if anyone is still undecided on that?
Oakley dokley. 3, 2, 1. gameplay. And now, would you like to give us a countdown? I'm at the 12-second mark, my friend.
Right, I am also at the 12-second mark. We will press go when I say go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we are off. On your Vinny is going to be Ubi. On your Leon is going to be on Spade. On the red side of things, Shaw is playing your Genji. And Lukopal playing your Clunk. And already we see some interesting abilities coming out. We see a piggyback at a bag of goldfish on Vinny. Range tongue, no cell come out on Spade. Why do you think that might be, my friend?
Well, range tongue, as we said, what Team Dave had to do is they had to find and pick up this Genji. The Clunk is going to be very, very difficult to kill. And as well, they can't commit too much to killing the Genji if the Genji sticks to the Clunk, because the Clunk is just going to counter with an explode. So giving that range gives them that little bit more time to kill the Genji. You know, they displace him further away from the Clunk. And, you know, in general, range tongue is just a very, very effective ability at displacement, finding pickups. Oh, we are seeing him put onto Spade. Here comes the explode. There's the bite. It lands, but it's not quite enough to kill Spade. They don't have the damage yet. Spade is going to get some creeps. He might be hunted down. He doesn't have invis to get away. There's a second cocoon, but there's no explode yet. Luco's too low. Oh, what a crazy team fight. Okay, we're looking at the Leon and the Clunk, both getting away very, very minimal HP. And one thing that might be worth noting, just off the back of that fight, we might see Luco opt into cooldown and explode, because if he had that, that would have been killed. Luco being very low here.
I think he was afraid of not being first blooded, because Leon also had that threat of range tongue to make that a 1-for-1, or possibly even pull some shenanigans to quickly get out or kill him before he gets a chance to explode. And I think we actually saw what we saw last game where Luco hesitated, not sure what to do. He's going to get tongue to the turret. He gets a very clutch bite off the Mark Blessing. It's not going to be enough. He gets exploded anyway, so take it off on Spade. It's not going to be enough to make it a 1-for-1. First blood, minute 50 seconds in. Nice spike dive through the turret, but he's going to get cocooned in return. Now they are going to be pushing top lane. Charles Clayton and his creeps being a little bit late to the defense. Not going so good so far for Aggro Master Race.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing a little bit of a solo lead building already, about 50 or 60 solo, but it's interesting. Again, it could easily swing either way, because all Aggro Master Race really need to do is find a cocoon and then get an explode kill. They almost did it on the Leon. The Leon is low enough that it would work at this point. But, you know, they get into the mid-late game and they're not losing so hard that they can start doing that. They're going to be in a great position. The Vinny picking up the invis now, and we might see Team Dave try and make something of this. The Genji's a little bit exposed, but he's going to go back to the Clunk. Yeah, they're just going to push here. The tongue's going to miss. They've got free reign to just do a little bit of push. Well, you know, a little bit as in absolutely no push, but yeah. It looked like it was push, and that's what matters.
I still think I sometimes see that thing on Luco and Shao where they're not sure what they should do next, and Shao going to get initiated on. He's going to run away, pop out with his abilities, disengage. And Ubi and Spade always know that when they want to go in, and when they go in, they go in. The counter initiation explode is going to come out on Spade. That's going to hit, and now he's going to be less than half. They're going to push up the top lane. He's going to go hit all his health resources. Ubi is always right there next to Spade. Wherever Spade goes, Ubi is right behind him. They are ready for a team fight at any moment. That's one of the things I really like about their synergy. You know, Ubi's not going to be like, hey, you know, I'm going to quickly take half a bar off the top turret and then just flee right quick while you go in and do health resources. He doesn't play a, okay, we'll probably be alright sort of idea. He's like, okay, this is Awesomenauts. We use teamwork. We are together. We are never not together. And that's one of the reasons I think they're extremely successful. They're always coming in at the same time. There's going to be the explosion come out. It's going to put Spade incredibly low. Now Ubi's in a bad spot. He's going to spike dive past Shaw and to get away, clear up the bottom lane. And he's wary of the cocoon that Shaw could potentially throw out on him. They're just going to trade Joy clear there. Nothing really of note. He's already picked up one stage of Chrome File. That's even more damage on a spike dive. While Leon's going to go back, pick up a stage of Silence, and pick up a stage of Cool, and pick up his clone ability.
Salvo Pack.
That's extremely early. Why do you think he might be picking up Salvo Pack?
Well, it's Burst, and it's not Explode. And Explode's kind of risky. Bite, you've got it on a shorter cooldown, and you can definitely capitalize on it if you play it carefully. So it's interesting that we're seeing him go into that instead of Explode, but we shall see. He's landing a few bites, and you know, if it works for him, fair play, because it's very cost-effective burst, and you can stack it on top of the explode damage. And if you look at Team Dave buy pills later on, it might be enough to get the kills anyway.
Yeah, indeed. But they're gonna. I cast a match like this yesterday, where it was Clunk Scolder versus Cassinia and Na. And they kept building like that, going to safer less likely to die Clunk stuff, and put the explode damage off to late game. And I saw a lot of kills get missed because of that. And so I really hope they're not shooting themselves in the foot here when the bread and butter of Genji Clunk is that explode ability. And Shell's going to get spike dive. He's going to get extremely low. He's going to fall back a little bit. Smart Blessing Pot. Now we have Lucopal. He's sitting on bottom. He's going to get out just in time as Fade and Ubi come in to see and demand that everyone leaves their mid lane right there. And now we see a little bit of footsie nuts coming out there. It looks like they're about to leave for the range stun, preferably on Genji, but Clunk will do. They will poke him down, get him in fight considered. That's going to be like 2/3 HP. Leon going to go ahead and take the stealth. It's going to be a missed cocoon. Ubi trying to decide if he wants to take the droids or if he wants to take the whatchamacallit, Genji, and he decided on the droids. How do you think the next frag's going to go down?
Maybe like this. No, the bite whiffs. That's a shame. That would have been a kill onto the Vinny if he not whiffed the bite. I think it's either just going to be... I mean, it could happen either way. It could be a cocoon onto the Leon or the Vinny, really. Or, well, no, probably mostly the Leon. I think the Vinny can still dash away. There's no snare bite on the Clunk just yet. Or it's going to be a tongue into dive into a whole bunch of shenanigans with, you know, the clone doing damage, maybe a tower and a few droids doing damage as well. Looking at medical pump being picked up by the Clunk as well, great sustain option. One of the big problems they had last game was they just kept getting poked down, and when you're playing kind of immobile characters and dealing with these like notes that have a lot of burst accessible to them, that could be a problem. Shao in a bit of a bad spot, the tongue being body blocked by Luco, very well played there from the Clunk protecting his Genji teammate. We're looking at the the Leon picking up the Embers. They might be able to get the Clunk here. He's just used his bite. He's not in a great position. There's the tongue. There's the dive. The Clunk's ready though. He's got the explode. The blessing has been used. Oh! Amazing cocoon. Here comes the AAs. Ubi's still not dead. He's still not dead. He manages to go down to the Clunk AA, and now Clunk very low, using that medical pump to stay alive. He's going to grab some creeps. Now we're looking at Genji and Clunk. 2 versus 1 against this Leon. They need to pick a lane and push it fast because they don't have much time until this Vinny gets back in.
And Spade's already they're commanding bomb. Spade's going to go ahead and he's going to push off in the opposite lane. And they didn't really get any much push off that. I feel like they could have just tanked the top turret a little bit. Spade wouldn't have done too much to capitalize on that. But now, yeah, they're not going to get any push off this. Vinny's already back in lane, and actually we saw a tiny fragment of droid chip occur on the bottom lane. So a little bit of a commitment issue there. And now, nice spike dive.
Oh, the tongue! Oh, not quite enough. Blessing there to ward off any further attacks coming in. We're looking at Nimbus coming up. The Vinny is going to get it. Yeah, the Vinny's got it. He's not quite at full HP, so he might just burn it. Yeah, he's just going to burn it and make sure he is always full. Looking at a 50 on bottom, this could end up turning into something. Nah, the Leon's not going to... Wait, is there a 50 on bottom, or am I just imagining things? I don't know.
It doesn't display on the mini-map, even though they changed it. The mini-map changes don't appear on the replay, except for the replay health bar, so there was health there. Definitely.
But yeah, we are looking at. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention we're looking at base invers being picked up on the Leon now, and now he's just gone back. He's opted for the large tongue damage, and then he's got the second set of silence. So the Leon has just straight in maxed that tongue. Again, he's in a low position. Oh, that's a great cocoon.
And that was going to be going down. What a great counter initiation. That was a great reaction speed we saw coming out from Shaw. He saw this bite dive coming, and not only did he hit the Monarch Blessing that saved his life, 100% that was a kill if not for that, he also landed the cocoon at the end of the spike dive trajectory, completely setting up Luco for the easiest frag of his life, and Vinny just got erased. That was excellent.
Yeah, that was brilliantly played. The Genji was low. Not sure whether it was intentional, but
it is going in on Spade, and the explodes can not be a whip, and he doesn't get the bite, and that was a kill if he got the bite, but because he didn't get the bite, the tongue counter initiation is going to turn an easy 1 for nothing for Clunk into an easy 1 for nothing for Leon. Oh man, that's got to feel so bad because he played it so perfectly until he just didn't proc bite. I guess he thought he didn't need it, but I don't know what was up with that.
Yeah, I think the Leon ran away just a little bit too fast, and he was perhaps concentrating on landing like the double salvo, making sure it was the right missile, and just trying to maximize all his damage, but in the end he ended up back not too far. Oh, that's a lot of damage onto the Genji and onto the Leon, both of them leaving with very, very low HP. Leon going to drop a clone.
Oh, this explode. Probably going to hit the droids. He's probably going to get punched by a spike dive here. Not yet, maybe. He's staying it really long. Okay, he's out. Genji is going to go ahead and spin 500 solar. We're going to see him max out target, pick up DOT, and get up a stage of slow on Cocoon. How good is slow on Cocoon here? Is that what he should be opting for?
Slow on Cocoon is a fantastic upgrade, although it might not be necessary because if there ever is a cocoon, you're going to have the clunk backing you up with that, and the clunk has already opted for a stage of snare bite. One thing is going to help. It's going to help the Leon if he ever goes into this. It's a nice bit of tracking that you've got that nice purple glove slow onto Leon, and the slow value on cocoon is insane. You can get it up to 40%, which is a ridiculous slowing value. Throw in the fact that they're already going to lose about a third of their HP from the Jagrogues, but here comes the damage onto the Clunk. The Clunk is just about going to get away. Genji brawling quite efficiently. Here comes the dive from Vinny, though the Clunk's going to go in, but it's not going to be enough. The dive from Vinny was enough to take out the Genji. Well played from Team Dave there, spreading the HP around, taking their time with that fight, and making sure they landed their abilities.
Yeah. That missed cocoon cost Luco Pal Shaw his life. That's another situation where they made that ability connect. Luco going to be going down there, just really overstaying his welcome there. That's going to be a wipeout in favor of the blue team, and they are going to continue pushing in the first back turret cracked on the top lane. Well, not quite cracked, but still taking several bars off. Might be cracked by the time those shorts go away. It's something that they got to be more careful about. And they've had, not only did he overstay on that drive, oh, there's the silence king right there, body blocks him in front of the turret. That's the double invis I was talking about right there. Just completely erased Genji before he realized what was happening. By the time he could even realize he needs to start getting out of the way, Spade was already body blocking him from his own turret. What was savage?
Okay, this is scary for Aggro Master Race right now. We're looking at Vinny picking up the dead seahorse head and throwing boots in there as well. So now he has an absolute max damage dash and throwing this with a almost, well, kind of, 50% max damage tongue with the range. That can kill the Genji straight up, maybe even through Blessing. And here we go, we see it there. The second dive not going to land. There's the Blessing. Here's the cocoon onto the Vinny. The Vinny doesn't have dive, and that's going to be enough to take out the Vinny. Very nice placement with the bite and the explode. The Leon's still in. He's going to look for something, but he just doesn't have the damage to deal with his Clunk. The Clunk's going to be able to sustain it up just by biting droids. Dave is going to clear the bottom lane, try and do something. But
they found him. Oh, he's going out though. All right, now hopefully they start pushing this. They got Spade incredibly low. The Clone's going to quickly get out. They have the bite. He does not have fragmenting shells, so he won't be able to hit him. Spade with his auto attack. Still, the bite does significant damage here. Shell keeping droids to try and just stay healthy. Finds a health spike on bottom too. A little bonus. And they're just going to go to top lane. Look at once they do commit to the turret, it's like you said, they do get immense push. I'd like to see them commit more often like they are now, even though they know the threat of Ubi and Spade is both fully alive. And now they're actually really starting to get some map control going. This is the first time in either match where I've really seen Ubi and Spade kind of push back. But knowing these guys, they're going to look for the first opportunity they can. Like they can right now, they find the tongue. He has a very convenient health back. They won't always be there. The Cloud is going to hesitate to push, but Luco is still able to get a missile off onto the turret. Take another little half bar. Progress.
Yep, turret damage is permanent. You get it where you can. Leon's build is quite interesting. He's opted for the lifesteal. He's got the regen now, so now he's kind of seeing the items that they kind of went for the last game. The ability to just always stay in lane, always be putting pressure on. And if the Leon opts for clone build later on, that's the immense damage coming out from the tongue and the double dive there. Both ticks of the dive hitting, the tongue hitting. Wasn't quite enough to kill the clunk, but a second initiate could be. The clunk very low. He takes another dive. He's going to try and teleport out. It looks like he made it out. Yep, he made it out. Ubi predicting the wrong side the clunk was going to teleport on. And yeah, that was a great escape coming from Luco there.
Indeed, and I also love it's so fun watching him being clear because he just kind of plops on droids and they disappear. Even though it doesn't really take him longer than say Leon, it's funner to watch him clear just because I like to see the droids literally disappear out of nowhere. I always think that stuff looks super entertaining. Nice cocoon coming out here. Luco's trying to get position. He finds the snare. That's going to be a kill. The Exploder's going to hit on both of them. Now Spade's in kind of rough position. Needs to make sure he does everything. Nice bite. He might get tongue back in, but nah. Because of that nice bite, he knows he can't do that to Luco, or otherwise he might have considered it. And
this could be interesting.
Round number 2. He did exactly what he did last time, but this time he hit the bite. He learned from his mistakes. That's going to be a chat. What is that? Double kill in favor of Aggro Master Race. Now they are going to be taking this top turret. Luco needs to be pushing harder right now. I guess they're going to go ahead and go to the bottom. Oh yeah, the droids are going to finish that. They might be able to finish this off. I don't know if Ubi will be able to contest this. Yeah, they've
got this. They've got this.
Should.
Or if they don't have it now, they've got it the next time they talk it. Yeah, the tower's gone. So yeah, that was a very big momentum swing in favor of Team Agromaster Race. Although we're seeing a lot of damage on the Leon onto this Genji. He's just chasing him down with his AAs. Great tracking. The Exploder and the Bite are going to whiff. This is the prime time for Team Dave to look for something. And I think they know exactly that. The Genji's just gone to spend. They're going to look to get something on his bottom lane, but the Clunk is just very carefully staying by his tower, making sure there's no way he can get engaged on. And if he does get engaged on, he's got the support of the Super Droid. He's got an Exploder and a Bite ready. We're looking at the Clunk going to spend about 400 solar here. It'll be interesting to see what he gets, because these upgrades for the Clunk are very, very vital at this stage of the game. And we're looking at Pills, second stage of Power Converter, and one stage of Barrier Mag. So opting for these tanky options, just to make sure he can't get bursted down. What do you think about that, Pillar? Oh, we've seen the Clunk in a bad spot here. He's taking a lot of damage. The Exploder's going to land.
Ooh, the Moon Nectar, Ubi's done. He has to be the slowest there. He's able to get the track. There's the last auto attack. That's going to should be taking him down to the DOT. I really like how the Moon Nectar is going to let them follow up on almost anything. On a couple like this, they're getting to a point where they're gonna have a lot of sustain. You have the already increased sustain on Bite plus the space sustain. Genji gets around 350 or so health from Jarga Eggs alone. Plus, Moon Nectar can generate around 600 health for them to share. He can also get health from Monarch Blessing. If you get Spiritual Cooking, the momentum swings. They're starting to let a Genji combo snowball. Is what's happening. That is absolutely terrifying, especially for a right-click comp where they kind of just go in once, do a lot of damage, and get out. Leon can kind of chase with his auto attack, but like he either can or he can't. And the more he lets the enemy thing snowball, the more times it's going to be a situation where he can't chase them with his auto attack.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing here fragmented shells in the Clunk as well, which he did pick up a little bit ago. Well, the tongue's going to whiff. And the Genji Clunk, they're just sitting here, and they're just getting pushing because they can. Although, as we said, as I kind of touched on at the beginning of the game about forcing them to rotate, what they aren't doing very efficiently is clearing both lanes and making sure they're pushed up. They always seem to leave one lane left clear, and that's kind of a natural disadvantage of having such a low mobility comp. And I think one thing Team Dave can really consider is just backdooring creeps at this Leon. And just forcing them to, Benny Hill around the map, trying to find the Leon, whilst the Leon just continues to take away the push before it even starts. So you see him doing it here, almost killing that droid wave before it even gets anywhere near the droids of Team Dave. Well, a lot of burst onto Genji, but the Genji just so much shielding. He's able to live through almost all of it.
Yeah, but it's just you see the barrier magazine, all this. I'm trying to figure out. I think that Spade and Vinny need to start to figure out ways where they can endure the entire team fight and then go in to punish them while they're on cooldown. That's easier said than done, though. I would really like to see Pills coming out. We need to see that Weaken Cloud, I think, coming out. Possibly even Sustain Cloud. And I would like to see Spade and Ubi to start to build toward in a way where they can go back in after a Monarch Blessing, Cocoon, and Explode are done with. Because currently, even if they connect those abilities, they're probably going to die. But even if they don't die, they'll be in no position to go back. Shell going to take a very painful fight dive. Going to go ahead and consume his health resources. And now we have Luco and Ubi are going to just be kind of staring at each other. There's the tongue. There's the very deadly spike dive. That's the combo that they needed. They needed to. That was insane. That was actually really
brutal. Yeah. Although we are seeing everyone's favorite upgrade on Genji, we're seeing Devil Spiritual Cooking being picked up, and that's going to make that what they just did there that much harder. We're seeing a nice double explode. It's going to land on the Leon and on the Vinny. The Leon's just going to get melted straight away in front of that tower, and the Vinny's going to get away half HP. That was very, very well played from Luco. Nice knowledge to know that Team Dave, they were committing everything to that tower, and they just weren't in a position to take an explode there.
Indeed, like very back and forth gameplay at this point, but we keep saying it, like the back and forth is favoring Agromaster Race more than it is Dave at this point. Spiritual Cooking is really something that's really going to spit them, and then we actually see BKM coming out on Genji. Not good, because their whole strategy, there's a cocoon right there. I was just about to say, is he actually going to live through this? Oh my god.
We are seeing an Invis Clunk. Oh, there's the A! Brilliantly played from Luco.
Well done, my god.
That's nice knowledge, just knowing, you know, he got the invis, he knew where Spade was going to run. Here comes the explode.
Oh, man.
He's low. Oh, we're looking at
the
Luca
double
just
pills
pushing.
is really doing some work here, I gotta say.
Yeah, double pills and barrier mag, although it does tick me off slightly that he went for double pills before going for barrier mag, because, you know, inefficiencies, because barrier mag's more cost effective, but, you know, put that aside, it's still very nice build. And we're seeing a lot of bursts going into Clunk. He's exposed here. He's going for the bite and the explode. He turns. There's the blessing being popped. It's just not enough to kill the Clunk. They don't have enough follow-up, although Ubi is looking for it. He uses the dash now just to get away, but they weren't able to find the kill they needed there. Luco is going to go back. I really think what Team Dave need to do, they need to just stop focusing on these team fights and just turn Leon into a backdoor clearing nightmare for Team Aggro Master Race to deal with. You know, just don't fight them. Just clear their droids before they even get anywhere near to their towers, and just make them have to chase Spade around the map, waste their time. You know, if they can find a pickup from the Genji when he's out of position, that's exactly what they need to do. But at the moment, these team fights are just not going in their favor. Genji Clunk is just too much of a powerful combo.
One thing about the builds I want to mention, they might go in after this Monarch Blessing, but then again, they don't have the Cloud, which isn't extremely important. Nothing really. They might go in now. They want it. They want the opportunity.
Oh, here's the Cocoon. That's a dead Spade.
Oh my god! I didn't have the camera on that, and then I brought it back over, and I just instantly saw him just like Cocoon explode dead. Leon can no longer kind of poke tongue on Genji. That BKM is so significant that Genji can typically get a Cocoon back in time to counter initiate on tongues, and that is really going to be messing with Spade's tongue game right now. Like, now they're going to go ahead and be pushing that top turret, and as you said, they just kind of take it right away. They go with it knowing that Ubi can't really do anything, and they have control of the invis, which is really scary for their comp. Spade and Ubi going in really fast. Wow, a lot of damage coming out onto Luco. You're gonna have to let him go. He has so much health.
Yeah.
Earlier, you mentioned that the pills before Barrier Magazine wasn't that cost efficient. I think you're forgetting the synergy with spiritual cooking, which is actually an enormous health boost and actually makes it so that he got out of that both abilities and several auto attacks of the blue team with 1/4 of his health. That's incredibly tanky. Ubi gonna go ahead and get back, dodge the Cocoon. Slightly bad situation, not really. Gonna go ahead and spike dive him, hits them both. Not much else gonna come of it. How do you think the next frag is gonna go down? Look, you sound like you have something to say.
Yeah, I mean, getting into semantics, Barrier Mags also synergizes with spiritual cooking because, you know, it applies to the extra health you get from spiritual cooking as well. So it's not that's not a factor. Barrier Mag is 100% better than spiritual cooking in this instance.
I think
better than pills. But the next kill, it's either gonna come from Dave and Ubi going for an initiate, and it's either gonna go well and they get a kill, or it's gonna go bad and they get killed by a Cocoon. Like that is how this happens. And at the moment, the footsie notes, I think Dave are playing it wrong at the moment. They're trying to find pokes onto the enemy team. What they should really be doing is just backdooring the creep wave, because, you know, as I said, what Aggro Master Race need to do, they need to sit on a creep wave and just get it to the tower. But if Dave can backdoor the creep waves before they get the chance to sit on them, that's where they're going to be in a good position. Nice amount of damage coming out to the Clunk, but the Clunk sustain is just too much at the moment. Spade's getting really, really ballsy, really close to this Genji Clunk, and it's dangerous. You know, if he gets hit by the snare bite, he's probably dead. If he gets hit by the Cocoon, he's definitely dead. So they're playing a very risky game right now. Oh, the bite's going to whiff. This might be the opportunity they're looking for.
They definitely know. Aggro Master Race knew that it was the opportunity that Dave needed, and Luco gonna get tongued in anyways. He has no more Monarch Blessing, but the Cocoon is ready. He's gonna go in. He has the explode. He has the Moon Nectar. So Spike Dive is the Moon Nectar so far saving him. He tries to get the bite, but the bite is a whip. Ubi is finally getting into the killing spree of Luco. It's a 1v2 scenario for the Genji. Spade is, they're ready. They are tanking this turret. They are not waiting on droids, pushing up lanes. He's gonna get Cocoon. Nothing that he can really do to follow up on it. And now, finally, the break that Dave has needed. Can this be the big moment? Like, will they be able to capitalize this and make it into a streak? Or is this
they're going to get a lot of push in. The Clunk hasn't quite dropped yet. If they really want to, they should really commit to a lot of push now, but it looks like they've picked for the invis. They're going to look for another kill. If they can get another kill, they're going to get a huge momentum swing in. Here's the tongue. They're going for the damage onto the Genji.
Oh, no! But the explode is a whiff, and they're using the Nectar saying Dave is going to get body blocked in front of the turret. Spade in a really bad situation. He's going to do a little bit more damage to the Clunk and run out. Oh my god, that Genji surviving was the worst thing that could have happened. Oh, man.
that was a huge moment in this game. If the Genji had died there, it would have been just a Clunk defending, and the Clunk, although he definitely can get the kills, he can be poked out. He doesn't have the Genji for support. He doesn't have the blessing when the enemy team goes in on them. And if you bait out one ability on the Clunk, then you can go in hard, and that's what they would have done. They would have just pushed, waited for him to use bite, and then gone in. We are seeing Clunk opting for medical pump, so we are seeing the full HP Clunk coming out. He's got both sides of snare bite, which is very, very scary for this Leon. The Leon can't get BKM anymore. In fact, neither members of Team Dave can get BKM. Ubi's going to get killed by the combo there. That was I believe that was a cocoon into everything. Was it? I wasn't quite paying attention, but yes, he died.
This is really just the amount of damage they can take. One thing I want to point out, if we look at the Monarch Blessing Rip for Genji, he's picked up Bronco Yeast. This is the flat damage reduction for every attack procced on someone that is currently Monarch Blessed. Why might he be getting that over Hill or Hidden Leads?
Well, I think the idea behind that is that you use it to push towers because it effectively halves the damage that towers do to you, and you can push insanely hard with that. But also, you have to think that there's kind of two aspects to Team Dave getting a kill right now. They do the burst, and then they have to land 3, 4, 5 seconds of sustained damage after that. And the sustained damage is coming in the form of AAs from Leon, AAs from Vinny, which are quite fast attack speed things. And using the Bronco Yeast to apply to multiple ticks of that.
All the abilities got whipped by Luco when he actually goes in with a spike type to punish, but Luco just has so much health. He just takes both abilities, and he's already back at half. He takes 2 spike dives and a tongue. He is still hanging out in lane at 50% HP. That is enormous.
I think this is still a good fight for Team Dave, though. The clunky. Oh my god, that was amazing.
I don't know.
That was incredible from Luco.
That was a just classic drop explode from Clunk, and he gets out and just picks up a very nice and clean looking frag. And now that's gonna be Genji pushing up. He is by himself, but Spade's not really in position to contest this. I'm going to take a look over at the damage graph. Oh, my thing wants to work, right? And actually, extraordinarily enough, for the good first half of the game, the blue team was actually dealing more damage than the red team until recently, where the red team's damage is just spiked enormously, and blue team's damage is just kind of flatlined. Actually, hold on.
Yeah, and that kind of damage flatline has definitely that came as we saw the kills from Team Red is just spiked up as well. Recently, they've been landing so many of the cocoons, and it's mostly coming from when Team Dave, they go in for the initiate. It's not as clean as they need it to be, and then one of them gets punished for it. But we are seeing Dave do exactly what I said they should be doing. They're backdooring creeps. They're staying away. They're making sure they're not playing into the hands of Team Aggro Master Race. And they're doing it perfectly. They're just backdooring, keeping the enemy pressured where they aren't, and they're forcing the rotations out from Team Aggro Master Race. I honestly, even in a perfect team fight, if they get the absolute perfect initiate, I don't think Dave can get a kill right now. Like, even on the Genji, I just don't think it could happen.
It's definitely not looking good. We actually see clones being picked up by Leon. Might they go for some shenanigans and just try and do some cheese to make some progress here without getting a kill to set it up?
It's the only thing Dave can really do. All they can do now is backdoor creeps and then hope that there's a massive team fight with them, the half of Aggro Master Race. Aggro Master Race, they get impatient, they go for a team fight, and they mess it up like we saw Dave do early, and then they can capitalize on it. If they see that Blessing is used, Cocoon's used, and maybe even Bite's used, there's just an explode, and dealing with just an explode is fine. They have enough health to deal with that, and that's when they can go in, find a kill on the Genji, find a kill on the flank, and then pressure really, really hard. But until that happens, they just need to backdoor and just make sure the push doesn't happen on, make sure all the droids are dead before they reach their side of the map. Well, that's a huge team fight happening right now. It's a lot of damage onto them, but the sustain from the red team is just insane right now. Dash is going to whiff on the Clunk. The Clunk just getting away with half HP. And Clunk at half HP has a health bar the size of the Leon at full HP. This is pretty funny.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think what they could do. There's a Whip Cocoon and a Spike Dive, but it's like, even when they land their abilities and everything hits, it's like they can't even commit because that threat of Clunk is just so much. Like, the amount of at this point, it's become less and less of a game of what Spade and Ubi can do, and more of a game of how Luco can mess up. And he's not messing up as he picks up another frag, just clean and simple, walking into Vinny without fear of retaliation. That's, just another pickoff like that is not what Dave needed right now. And the potential is already just so hard to swing the other way, but like it's getting more and more scented. It's just another nail in the coffin at this point. Spade is gonna have a lot of trouble defending this. We're gonna see a lot of damage go out on this tower. Clone just being more sustained for Luco at this point than it is for the turrets. He's gonna get toned back into a turret shooting, and he's still half health. Like, what are Ubi and Spade supposed to do at this point?
As I said, they can't take a team fight. They need to find. They need to just pressure Aggro Master Race in other ways, and that is going to involve, doing these dirty strats by just backdooring all the droids. But I don't think they have much of I don't think their other options are that good, really.
Well, the thing is, even without droids, while they're doing that, Clunk can go like,
hey, Whiff. This could be the opportunity.
Are they going to go for it? Oh, nah.
No. We're in team fight purgatory. Are they going to go for it? Are they not going to go for it? They are going to go for it. It's a lot of damage onto the Genji. The Exploder is going to whiff. The Blessing is also going to whiff.
If he gets the tongue back, there it is.
There it is. Here comes the tongue as the Clunk. The Clunk is losing a lot of HP. He's still got a bite. There's the bite. He doesn't have his double AA now. He's used that. He's going to have Explode ready very soon. Here comes the bite. The bite and the Explode going in. It's not going to be able to kill Spade, although it does land. And now we're looking at Spade and Ubi with a wipe, and they're going to be pushing, and they're going to be pushing hard. Ubi is going to be taking out the droids in the bottom just to make sure, and then Spade is just going to go all in on this top tower.
Oh my god. They actually managed to find the fight. They managed to find the one. The only way they can make that work is if the Aggro Master Race home got way too long. Not just too long, but way too long. They finally found the fight where they could force Clunk to force a commitment to Clunk that could actually last long enough to kill them. And now the momentum is completely reversed. Genji back in lane. Clunk will still be about 5 or so seconds behind him. He's just picked up the upgrade that they did not want him to pick up. He bought 50 Blueprints container.
Oh,
God. How Blueprints container is perhaps the final nail in the coffin here.
Yeah, I mean, if we were saying there's no way Team Dave can team fight, now there is absolutely no way they can team fight. If Clunk throws Explode out, he's gonna have a 50% shield on top of a massive shield coming out from the Genji as well. There is no way that this Clunk dies in a traditional team fight. The only way he's gonna die is in a kind of extended brawl like we saw there, where he's just caught way out of position, he doesn't have any abilities ready, and then, the sustained damage from the AA of Leon and Vinny are going to come into play there. But outside of that, there is no way this Clunk is ever going to die now. In fact, I'm going to bet that,
But you have some droid chip right here. And it's not going to be much. It's going to be about how far both of them are going back.
I don't think this Clunk is ever going to die for the rest of this game. Unless it's, defending the base, if that ever happens. I think in any team fight, this Clunk is going to survive through all of it.
And we do have double invis. I don't know if they'll be able to make something happen here. Like, what are they going to do? Like Ubi doesn't even spike dive him because he knows it's just like, at this point, like, Ubi's spike dive to Clunk is like an auto attack to any other character. That is the analogy here.
It tickles. It's funny. Yeah, I mean, we're also seeing Clunk building into some nice AA damage. He's getting 2 stages of double missile there. 2 stages of double missile. Is that not just quad missile? But yeah, like there's so much here. We might want to think about the Vinny's cloud build, because it's quite interesting. He's gone for side. Oh, and never mind. This is gonna have to wait. Here's a team fight, but the Explode has whiff. The Blessing is there. This could go either way, really. It looks like Team Dave are gonna disengage, knowing that they can't. But any fight where Team Aggro Master Race, if they don't have all their abilities ready, or especially if they missed the Cocoon, especially if they missed Explode, that's when Team Dave can go in. But if even one of those abilities are up, Clunk is invis. This is not looking good for Team Dave. Just the mere threat.
Go to their turret and just
the tiny threat of Clunk being invis has just forced Team Dave all the way back to their towers, and they know it. There is nothing they can do to stop this right now.
And we actually see max builds coming out. We don't see that often in competitive Awesomenauts, where even though it's only 4 people here, every single person on both teams has bought every item that they possibly could. Greatly Pursuing. Yeah, we do have max items we've seen, and it's just insane. And that's a nice snare. And the road that we actually see coming out on the cloud is speed after usage, just
if they pick up on this could be big. We just saw the Muse explode combo onto a clone, but the with tongue means they're not really going to kill the clone. But yeah, like one of the builds I was saying was most. Oh, here comes the explode. The explode is going to use, but it's going to do a lot of damage. But Dave is still just about alive, using that speed up size cloud with the sustain to get out. That was what I kind of wanted to touch up on, but now we're looking at the Leon chasing down the Clunk. That's a lot of AA damage. The Clunk is going to go down. Correct me from earlier. Clunk is still able to die. And now the Genji, not in a good spot. The dive's almost there. The dive's
they whipped an ability. Oh, I think it was one of the spike dives of the two, but still, they can now finally go to the base. They need to go now. He's getting that sustain from the cloud. Oh my god, this might be it. What a momentum swing. What a momentum swing.
I don't know, I think the Genji's AA damage is just about enough to hold this. He's very boldly going out.
Bit far too long. If he got tongue back in there, he could actually die. And it's like we said last time, on this sort of defensive situation, if they manage to find that frag, then that is all that's going to matter. And that could actually cost the game right there. Now Ubi needs to get out. Clunk is back in lane. Their base is less than half. I think we might, when we're going to see that bottom turret going down, it looks like, Clunk getting in a position to go ahead and contest it, but not going to catch him in time. Now Genji will be dealing with a lot of droids as Ubi and Spade move up quite a bit. They have to be afraid of backdooring on Aguilon pretty intensely here. I could not tell you how this game goes down. This is actually insane.
Yeah, that upgrade I told you might be purchased at like the 1 minute mark. It's been purchased at like the 35 minute mark. We're looking at cooldown on Explode, which is great for capitalizing on those cocoons. It just means you can do it every single time. And you know, one problem, the one weakness in Agromasteros' armor is they are not very mobile and they're not good at clearing creeps across both lanes. And if Team Dave take advantage of this, they can just keep throwing clones through that middle, keep the lanes pressured, and maybe, just maybe, they can just chip away at the base for long enough until Agromasteros get a little bit too impatient and whip a team fight. Or, you know, maybe they find a team fight, wipe Dave, and then with the respawn timers this long, it's all over.
Yeah, the next kill, not even double kill, the next 1 for nothing, or possibly even a 1 for 1, depending on which members of which team it is, could easily determine this match.
Yeah, I think if the Leon lives for Team Dave, it might not be over just because the pure threat of the backdoor from that. Exactly. I think in a base race with any of the Nauts here, the Leon is going to win at this point, especially with the base already at half. Like even if it's 2 versus 1. Base racing, the Leon is going to win the base race. So
the awkward situation where Ubi dying might be exactly what they need, and Ubi might get cocoon. He has to rebuild his presence there. Spike dive is going to come out. The explode's going to be a whip. This might be the fight that they need. They need to get back in there instantly. If he needs to get that spike dive in, Shaw is getting out of range. He's safely behind Luco, and I don't think they're going to be able to get any push off this, but they're making sure their pressure stays fast. Basically what Genji and Clunk were looking for there, at even the minimum good result they could have had, it was a kind of a paradigm shift where it's like a bit more even in terms of map control. The best thing, at the very least, Spade and Ubi have managed to maintain the paradigm, which is good because they have the map control, they have the pressure, they have the stealth orb, they have the red team's jungle, and just taking control of these things is the only reason why Shaw is not constantly on the hunt for a cocoon right now. There's a tongue. Ubi knows not to commit to that, especially on the Clunk. They are just playing so carefully. We're hoping to see that I don't know if that Clone got an auto attack off on the base.
I don't think it did, no. But if we did, we would have heard the announcer say, which I have on, enemies attacking the base. But we are looking at droids doing a little bit of chip damage. That was like, you know, a quarter of a bar gone. So that's something. Yeah, I mean, it is really hard for Agromasteros to clear both lanes whilst trying to keep the pressure on, you know, and looking for the kill. You know, they can only really do one of them, clear the lanes or look for a kill. So if Team Dave are patient enough, I think they can just chip away at this until Agromasteros get a little bit too impatient and get the wrong kind of kill, or you know, go for the wrong kind of team fight. But you know, we saw a clone get 3 or 4 hits in on the base there.
Just kiting.
It's just this is a long game here. Look, we're nearing in on the 40-minute game, which, you know, most 3v3s don't go to 40 minutes, and oh man, it's so close. Any team could win this at this point. Looking at Team Dave, just pressuring. I mean, there's not that much going on at the moment. It's
another couple
as boring as it looks. This is a very, very tense moment for both teams because.
To those who think that this game, that both players are like not really doing anything, and that this, like, imagine actually being one of the players right now. This might be it. The Cocoon counter initiation manages to get it before the silence procs. That's a good prediction. That might have just saved the game. If he had gotten silence and not getting that Cocoon off, they might have been able to predict the Cocoon as it came out silence despite the BKM and actually possibly cause a frag or at least force a more commitment.
Exploding Clone doing work there. Exploding Clone doing some work there, taking off about a quarter of Genji's health, which, you know, at this stage of the game forces him to get some sustain, not stay with a clunk. You know, Team Dave, they've really played to their strengths here because they're not allowing Team Aggro Race to stack up. They're not allowing them to group up and have that advantageous play. And, you know, if they do have a backup, group up, they just back away. You know, they don't need to fight right now. They've got exactly what they have the win condition
right now,
here.
and it's a whiff.
Yeah. I mean, the other bad news is that, like, even if they are able to find a Cocoon...
Here is our team fight. We have an explode, and Spade is going to be
huge.
going down! Oh, this is not good. Genji needs to get over to Luco now. It's the Leon that's set, not the Vinny. This is a bad situation for Dave. Luco going straight for it.
Invis. Is Aggro Race, are they going to get mind gamed? Like,
he's going for the back door! He's going for the back door!
It's going to be a base race! Who's going to win?
Okay, here we go, boys.
I think the Vinny's got it. The Genji's teleporting back. He knows he has to. The base on the right side.
Oh my god! I think Vinny wins
this. 2 bars. The Genji's only just hit the bar. It's 1 bar. The Vinny's still attacking. It's gone.
Oh, and your winner is Dave.
Oh wow, Team Dave. Wow, the clutch play. You know, for a game that was 41 minutes and 22 seconds and only had 24 kills, that was probably the most one of the most exciting games I've ever seen.
That was incredible.
That was tense. That was really tense at the end there. Wow.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to take a breather on that. Oh, why don't you tell us a little bit? Okay, so the big moment, of course, was at the end. Why did both teams do good, and what did they do bad, and what could either of them have done differently?
Well, there were sort of, there were stages of this game. There was the very beginning of the game where we saw Team Dave just dominate. They found the tongue into the dashes. They found lots of early game kills. And, you know, they went ahead. They got some decent pushing. And, you know, they really set off to a great start. But then the game kind of ticked into the early mid-game. And that's when we started to see the Genji clunk. They started to get these cocoons. They started to get the initiates. And, you know, once they were able to just cleanly kill off of a cocoon, that was almost the death row for team fighting for Team Dave for the rest of the game, really. You know, then after that, we saw Aggro Race doing exactly what they needed to do. They were using that team fight they had, pressuring, escorting their droids to the towers, and just pushing really hard. And they built into the sustain so they could just keep doing it. You know, eventually it got to the point where Team Dave, they just could not team fight, and that was a huge problem for them. And then, you know, I think it started to dawn on Team Dave that they really couldn't team fight. They realized this at about, you know, the 25-minute mark, and that was when they started to just sneak around, start backdooring everything, and the game just slowly turned into their favor. Of course, they did manage to get picked off a few times, and that was when the momentum shot right back in favor of Aggro Race. But then there were also those 2 times where they got a double kill, and that was huge for them because, you know, they were able to just keep going, push really hard. They built into clones at this point, and their tower DPS was insane. You know, when you're maxed out at 42 minutes into the game, it's unreal. You know, you're gonna be able to win. You're gonna be able to take towers naked. You don't even need droids there. So they just exploded forwards once they got those kills, and then it got into those last 5 minutes of the game where it was just, we saw it all fighting in the base area and the jungle area of Team Aggro Race, as the clones and the chip was just chipping away at the confidence of Team Aggro Race, as they just got a little bit too impatient. They went for the fight. They did manage to get the Leon kill, which was the big one, but then the Vinny backed off, grabbed the invis, and then snuck through, got to the base, and then in the base race, the Vinny ended up winning. What a game that was.
It really was. And the fact that Ubi and Spade managed to keep that pressure so consistently, like, that's part of the reason why you won that base race. Well, they didn't do, I guess, that much damage during that time that they pressured, but I guess still defeat. And the fact they might have not been able to, they wouldn't have found that frag if
the sort of frag that they got, that 1 for nothing, wouldn't have worked if they. Okay, let me get my words together.
So as we saw, you know, it was still even though we said that Vinny dying might, jokingly enough, be what Dave needed. It was the Leon that died anyways, but the fact that they kept that pressure there, that he died there, I think is why they managed to make the base waves win. Because he was able to fall back. We had mentioned earlier that you were controlling the jungle and controlling the stealth orb. And the fact that he was able to take that stealth orb without the... Aggro Master Race probably had an intuitive feeling that he had taken it, but they weren't for sure, and they couldn't really waste time. They couldn't control it. They couldn't deny it. The fact that the Vinny was able to make it to their base, it was a purely result of probably the 5-10 minute siege that Spade and Ubi completely held in that jungle there. And say if they were pressured back on their side of the map, they wouldn't have a siege going on. Genji, Clunk would have continued pushing, or at least found a frag, and progression in the match would have been made. But they would have been, even if it was that sort of siege going, and Leon had died like that, I don't think Vinny would have been able to get across them like that without at least being contested. At that point, he is susceptible to a snare, he's susceptible to a cocoon. And so, even though they eventually died as a result of that pressure, that is still the reason that they won. Without that, they would have died.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, yeah, what an incredible game. But that was going to be the set between Aggro Master Race and Team Dave. It ended up being 2-0 in favor of Team Dave, and we are going to take a quick break, and then we will come back with with some more sets later for the stream. Is there anything you want to add, Pillow, that I have missed off? Anything that people need to be aware of?
Giveaway in the chat.
Oh yeah, giveaway in the chat. As always, pay attention. And we will be back after this break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Awesomenauts Rumble. My name is Mr. Pillow. With me here once again is the Edsta.
I am indeed the Edster.
All right.
Some people have the 2-7, some people don't. But I'm Edster. That's what I'm known by.
So we just saw an incredibly long but nonetheless exciting match, believe it or not. I normally would never call a 45 Aguilon match exciting, but that's what we just came back from. Still pretty crazy. But moving onwards, we have two teams that we are about to show you. But before we get into that, before you see Meow versus Please Love, we have trivia, which is one of my favorite
Trivia.
So, and Ed Sir has already seen this question. I showed it to like one or two other people.
It's a good question, I must admit.
I'm about to just drive you guys crazy. The first person to answer this correctly in the chat will not get one, but 2 pieces of Awesomenauts DLC, alright? The first person to answer this correctly in the chat will get not 1, but 2 pieces of Awesomenauts DLC. The question is, where is the engine room located? Where is the engine room located?
The room with the engine is not specific enough.
It's next to the room that doesn't have an engine.
Yeah, I think it is.
What if there's 2 engine rooms?
Oh, damn.
Then you would be wrong.
Oh, I don't understand.
Let's see. Answer so far. AI station, in your mom's butthole, and the spaceship. One of these answers is slightly accurate, but we need something pretty specific.
Specific, yes, indeed. It does exist. There's a very specific spot where it is.
And it's very obvious. When you know it, you will know it. Like, you won't be like, is this what they're talking about? No. This is what they're talking about. Where is the engine room located? And the
it
place
is not Clunk.
At Blue Team Side Starstorm?
Not quite, no.
No.
You've got to be very specific about where it is.
The engine room is
somewhere in the known universe. I mean, you are correct, but we needed to be a bit more specific.
So, it can't be any place that if I were to search the whole area that you're mentioning, I would find the room that doesn't have an engine. So if you say Starstorm map, if I were to search the whole Starstorm map, I would run into a not engine room place. Red team on Starstorm map.
That's the same thing.
Thinking the same thing here, but I'm pretty sure there are a couple of non-engine rooms in Red team on Starstorm map. On Sorona! Yeah, did you guys know that if you go on the middle bottom lane, if you stand there, there's a big button right above. You have someone press it for you, it teleports you to the engine room.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. Can I see the picture again? I was away. What picture? We're just asking, where is the engine room located?
Do we need to give out a few hints?
Bottom of Starstorm map. Yeah, there's a big pit at the bottom. If you jump there, it's like the shaft at the end of Star Wars Episode 5, where you wind up, but like where it takes you somewhere else. Except this time you land up in the Awesomenauts engine room. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Wink, wink, winky face.
But yes, where is the engine room? That is the question. You will win DLC if you answer this correctly, or the first person to answer this correctly. You have to be very specific. So, for example, Blue Team on Starstorm map, even if it is on the Blue Team on Starstorm map, there are multiple rooms on the Blue Team on Starstorm map. We need the specific location of where the engine room is.
For example, say that the Solar Boss area on Red Team on Ribbit was the correct answer. That's as specific as it would need to be. I wouldn't take the red jungle or the red side of the map.
Indeed. So, needs to be quite specific. Keep going, guys. No one cares. That's an interesting answer.
I wonder why people are answering then.
Yeah. It's as if people don't even want free stuff.
In the middle lane at top of AI station. You're trying.
No, you are trying. It's extremely obvious when you spot it. You know, if people need a hint, I would recommend going into spectator mode, loading up a map, and having a look around. You know, have a look for this engine room because it definitely is in the game.
Is it the landing zone on either team on the Starstorm map at spawn at any map? I will confirm this. It is on the map, the Starstorm map.
It is on the Starstorm map. Yes, indeed.
Middle of AI Station 202. The bottom back red turret on Starstorm.
You, sir, have just won the Creeper. Well done. I think that is specific enough.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
Like, yeah,
Because my answer
that's...
that I have on the screen is at the bottom back red turret on Starstorm. As you guys can see, I will blow this image up right quick. Right beneath the turret is the label, very clear, engine room.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice. There's a lot of subtle things on Starstorm map. You know, the artists really put a lot of work into it, and if you look around long enough, you can find some very nice things there. Yeah, there's obviously all of Scree's drawings and Ted's missing pants and Penny's scooter and all these other things. So yes, well done.
All right.
You found the answer.
I'm so proud. Good job, the Creeper. That said, we have our own engine room at Awesomenauts Rumble where we produce this wonderful draft screen. And it is Please Love versus Meow. Ed, sir, why don't you take us through the draft?
You know what, I think I will take us through the draft. This time we're looking at Please Love being Team 1 and Team Meow being Team 2. That means, as a result of this, the first ban is going to go the way of Please Love. They're going to ban out Leon. Meow then going to ban out Genji. We're going to look at a Raylan ban for Please Love, followed by a Sentry ban from Team Meow. First picks are going to come out. Skulder for Team Please Love. Frog coming out for Team Meow. Then the next bans, we're looking at a Vinny ban from Please Love. Yuri ban from Team Meow. And then we're going to be looking at a Scree pick for Please Love. And finally, to wrap it all up, a Swiggins pick for Team Meow. So we have Skulder and Scree versus Frog and Swiggins on AI Station 205. And there is a very, very clearly defined role for one of these comps, and the other's a little bit of a hybrid. But Team Meow's comp is all about the burst and the pickoff. You know, you anchor in, you dash in, you get a kill, and you hope for the best. You know, that is exactly what they're going to do, and you know, there's not much Please Love can do to stop that if they don't play carefully. Please Love's comp, it's a lot of poke, it's a lot of pressure. You know, the ability to throw someone away is nice. They also have the ability to go for range punches, you know, keep their distance, make sure they're playing it safe, and then find a kill and really capitalize on it. They've got some nice clear, some nice push with the Scree totem, and the quite good tower DPS from the Skulder. But playing on AI Station 205, if they end up pushed up to their tier 2 towers, even if they get a double kill, they might not have enough time to get to the other side of the map to do enough push before the other team respawns and, you know, goes for the kill and, you know, flips the situation right back. So it's going to be interesting. I think this will probably be either a very decisive win for Meow or a long game that will be close.
I'll have to agree. And we forgot to mention again, we are doing our bets giveaway once again where you can guess correctly in the chat in order to be eligible for a giveaway after the match. So type red or blue, whoever you think is going to win this match right now. You have until the scene transitions to Awesomenauts on the draft screen, and then when you see Awesomenauts gameplay, that's transitioning to the gameplay screen to get your guesses in. And then after the match, someone who guessed correctly will be given a piece of Awesomenauts DLC. So that said, I pretty much agree with your assessment. Please Love is a team that kind of has in the past gotten a lot of flack for playing passively. But yesterday we saw them actually get an upset win on American Mojo. They were playing a Genji comp, which is a sort of strong, solid initiation that Skulder provides, and they were constantly going to the enemy team looking for the kills, keeping them on their side of the map. And it was on AI Station as well, and I wonder if we might see the same thing. Because with the ability of Totem to separate at the choke points, I could imagine, for example, after the front tier turrets are gone, What if Scolder, for example, and this is one possible situation out of many, threw Frog or Swiggins from the blue, from behind where the Frontier is to back into mid, and then the totem kept the teammate from helping? That's a free kill. And Swiggins into Scolder is not exactly a comp favorable for Meow. He can get CC immunity, but you won't gain the immunity until the damage number actually procs. And considering that at any time you can get stunned, canceled, or thrown before that, and just properly timed and predicted, that is something that could be used to Please Love's advantage. Top that off with all the slows and the snares that we might be seeing coming out of this comp. While Meow can definitely find the ganks on the screen with their comp, they have to be so careful to not make mistakes or they get punished by so much CC. And at that point, I think that I gotta say to Please Love. Please Love has an easier time than Meow here, I think. Because Meow, both teams have to pick and choose their battles. But I would say that the battles that Meow shouldn't choose will be deceptively alluring compared to the battles of Please Love, where I think it's going to be a bit more obvious to them if they should or should not go in.
Yeah, I'm going to have some faith in Team Meow. I just think if they play it right, their comp could really easily overpower Please Love. And I mean, even if it goes into the late game, they're always going to be able to get a kill. Whereas to Please Love, it's going to be questionable. You know, Scalder's got to land a load of stuff, Scree's got to land a load of his stuff. And if they don't land his burst, they're going to be relying on getting the sustained damage out. And, you know, if Team Meow position themselves right, if they can apply their burst, you know, even if one of them lands everything and the other one only lands one ability, that's going to be a kill in most situations, especially on that Scree. So I'm going to have faith in Meow. I'm going to put this to a Team Meow win.
Indeed. Well, without further ado, I'm going to go and transition to the scene. You have 3 seconds to get your guesses in. Red or blue. 3, 2, 1. No more guesses! With that said now, I am at the gameplay scene. Edsta, would you like to give us a countdown, my friend?
Absolutely. We will go on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
I need you to pause it. I wasn't on the right tab. XD.
Oh my god, I wasn't either. What the... Okay, we're both terrible. Okay, so 12 seconds in. Are you ready?
I'm ready because I never pressed go.
We will go on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, and we are off. On the red team, you have Gamespoken playing your Scree. You have Love playing her signature Scolder. You have Shadow playing your Froggy G on the blue team. And Nodrock is playing your Swiggin. This is, I believe, their debut for competitive 2v2. They weren't at the qualifier yesterday. They weren't there last year. And we immediately have a fight coming out. We have a Splash Dash and Tornado. Full combo coming out in the game is broken. Not much going to result. He's going to control the health. And we have the Totem coming out. Nothing much happening as yet. Base abilities on all 4 members. How do you think the first blood's going to go down?
Well, it's definitely going to come from Initiate coming from the blue team. It's just whether or not that Initiate ends up getting a kill, or if it means they end up playing into the hands of Please Love, they get thrown into a tower, and then they die after that. You know, it's definitely going to be the blue team that acts with the Initiate here, and then a reaction from Please Love. As we're seeing there, that's a nice throw going in, but it's not quite enough to get the Swiggins, and an excellent anchor placement is going to secure the frog damage coming with a Nado, and that's going to be enough to kill the Scalder. And the Scree is actually quite low. Oh, the Scree landing a very nice Soul Blade onto the Swiggins. The Swiggins is quite low as well, but it's definitely enough. The Swiggins did enough damage to this Scree that the Frog can now push up a bit.
Indeed. Looks like they're actually in split lane this, while Night Rocket's actually tries to go in on game. It's broken. Misses the anchor dive. Nearly pays his life for it, but now Shadow's going to do it. Excellent dash Nado. Scree was just at the maximum tether lane. Just a tiny pixel in front of the turret. Shadow knew that he could survive that. Great health management. That's going to be 2 frags for Team Meow within the first minute and a half of the game. Already the momentum within their favor. They are playing very good. They are knowing what they can and cannot go in on, and that's the thing that I said I thought might get them. I thought they might go for frags that they couldn't actually get, and so far that it's still early to tell. It's only 2 frags. It's less than 2 minutes in the game, but they might seem to have a good grip of that so far.
Yep, definitely. They've got some nice amount of money they've got, and they've gone and spent that. We're looking at damage, 1 stage of damage and regen coming out on the Swiggins, and we're looking at 1 stage of turbo tape and regen coming out on the Frog. These guys know how the 2v2 plays out. A lot of it comes down to being able to maintain your health when you're in lane. Opting for regen is definitely the right play. Looking at Scalder, piggybanking into the stun punch. Very, very good against Swiggins, very good against Frog. You're able to cancel the Nado, you're able to kind of disrupt Swiggins' momentum. If you're lucky, maybe even cancel an anchor. We're looking at a dash Nado going in onto that anchor, but onto the anchored screen, but it wasn't quite enough. The throw was going to land, but a little bit of ping played in there, and the frog ended up getting thrown into the side wall of the middle of the map, not getting thrown into the turret, so that's fortunate for him, indeed.
Indeed, and it looks like that Nyark's going in. Not really much Awesomenauts coming out from these guys, so they like to try and keep Please Love low, and that is actually letting them completely control the map right now.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a bit of push coming in on both lanes. Never mind, the Swiggins is opting to go for the top instead of pushing bottom. I think getting tower damage wherever you can is really important in these games, and you know, if you can keep the attention of the other team separated, make it sure that you're pushing both lanes, because the mobility advantage is definitely in the favor of Team Meow right now. When the map opens up, maybe not so much, because the Scholar having boots and all these other things, he's probably going to play to his advantage, but at the moment the Frog and the Swiggins are just dominating the rotations.
Yeah, and the fact that they have that sustain means that they never really have to give it up yet. We have to see more poke coming out from Scree and from Scolder, which Scree's actually sitting at, how much health does he have? Solar 260. He's going to pick something up interesting right now. Right now they're going to have to defend against this 5-piece of droids on the bottom lane. And Roxas is just going to get rid of the totems, so there's nothing much in its way. They're staying in the right angle to go in as soon as they do. That was risky at Night Rockets. He could have gotten some punch and thrown there. Love didn't completely react the way she should have. That could have been a way to set up the first kill in favor of Please Love. And that is where I talk about, once again, the sort of fights that Night Rockets shouldn't go in on are going to be the ones that still kind of look like to them that they should. But when you have that 2020 perspective that us in the spectator mode have, knows that they will probably die to. And it's going to take, all it takes is one time for him to anchor dive in, get stun punched, and then thrown into the turret, and then not able to get out and get fragged. And by the way they're playing, I think Shadow would try and kind of YOLO it out to try and save him. I think it would end up in a wipe, and that would just be a complete momentum shift instantly. And while momentum shifts can sometimes even be kind of slow after a wipe on AI Station, not in the AI Station's early game. It would be exactly what Please Love needs to do to turn their early game completely to their favor. There's the throw right there, and there's the splash dash to save them. Love taking a little bit of tornado damage. She's going to throw out this anchor, but now the lane presence is in favor of Game is Broken and Love. Love already has a stage of flowers, so she will be able to lane. Game is Broken will need to watch themselves a little bit more carefully, but they are getting some push off. They have the totem, they have the droids, and Nine Rockets and Frog, Swing as a Frog, aren't good on defense. Scolder's okay on defense. Scree is incredible on defense, and that's also something that's noted, is that when Game is Broken and Love don't have map control, it's not good, but it's not as not good as it is for Night Rockets and Shadow. There's the bungee cord. Love gonna get just strung down there. Not really much to do. She will throw the frog away, and now they are just gonna kind of have a small paradigm reset. Game is Broken is going to go back. Love just kind of chilling, picking out the droids. She's keeping some good mini-map awareness, so even though she's extended out by herself, she knows as soon as Night Rockets comes down after the fire is ended, she's not going to be insta-gib. And now we're going to just see Game is Broken and Love a little bit separated. They're waiting for the right moment to go ahead and reconvene with one another. There it is. And now we should see another game of Awesomenauts come out for each side. He has picked up, looks like double Soul Blade damage. No sustain yet coming out in Game is Broken. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Awesomenauts, really. I mean, it's just going to be looking for that opportunity, and games, Team Please Love, they just aren't giving it to them at the moment. They're playing very, very carefully, and at the moment it's working for them. But we'll have to see. I mean, when the map opens up, they're going to be exposing themselves to all kinds of dangers, especially if the Frog keeps doing plays like that and he doesn't get punished for it. That's the kind of things that Meow need to look for. They need to look for ways of dealing damage and just forcing Please Love off the lane.
But imagine when they have their slows, if Love has Snite, I just combined keywords. If she has Snare and Height, Snite, that's what I'm calling from now on, deal with it, new meme. If she has Snite, then that's going to catch the Frog on a Splash Dash, put it into a throw, and that would be an easy frag. Shadow will start taking his life if he thinks he can consistently get away with that, so definitely something really got to be aware of.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of a contrasting build to the Swiggins build we saw earlier, run by Team Dave. Ubi Spade opted for not even going for the anchor drop, instead just going straight into cooldown, AoE, and damage, and that worked really, really well for them. able to do this kind of poke. I imagine a similar build would have done wonders here, but he's opting for the more traditional build, and yes, it's better in these team fights, but they're not really finding the team fights at the moment. All they're able to do is poke, and I feel like if they had a build like that, he might be a little bit more successful. Here comes the dash. There's a lot of damage onto Love. The bungee jump is going to save him, though. That is ridiculous. Oh, please. But as we see, the Swig and Soak doing almost nothing, just able to bounce down methodically, keeping away from that anchor, and it doesn't bounce him back in range of that NATO.
And Game is Broken actually getting cut out on the totem, saving his life. Just barely out of range for that tornado to last hit him. Took a lot of damage. And that is something you do typically see frogs get damaged before they kind of get into the abilities. And that is something that would have been a kill if Shadow had a more traditional build. Not that he's wrong for going non-traditional, but it is worth pointing out that at this point, instead of Regen and Turbo Tapes, we normally see Hammer Tank or Ninja Worms on a frog, and that would have been a kill in that situation.
Speaking of utility, we're looking at Slow on the totem, so that is definitely an item that they're going to be using in a reactive way. So they wait for Team Meow to go in, and then they drop the Slow totem after the throw, and then there's no way they're getting out away from that. So
that doesn't even necessarily have to be the case. I think if it's on the swing, frog always has to splash dash. Until, especially as I mentioned, Love doesn't have her Snipe going, then he can still kind of get away from throwing that. They can use that to do a full-on initiation on Swiggins, whether or not he's been poked or baited, I think. It's something that, they'd have to make their judgment calls on. Something I think we might see at some point.
Yeah, definitely. At the moment we're seeing, as we talked about damage that the Frog needed, we are seeing the Frog opting for dash damage and a stage of cubes. Very, very useful in the lockdown. They're looking... I think this Frog is building specifically to counter the screen. Oh, and the totem actually saving the Swiggins there. It blocked the throw, and the Swiggins is going to be able to live from the DOT. That's not going to be enough to kill him. That was a bit of anti-synergy there coming from Please Love.
And there's two players that... When you talk about players that have played more games with each other, like last game, Dave and UB and Spade have played a lot of games together. Love and Game is Broken, I think, have played the vast majority of their games on Awesomenauts with each other, and a lot more games with each other than most players have. That's a rare moment. And Rock is going to get Stun Punch, then Throw, and then Quake. He's going to try and Anchor Dive out, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be clean 1 for nothing in favor of Please Love. That is the sort of pickup that they needed to help sort of the momentum has been really swinging back and forth like a pendulum. Now, they might be out of a good minute or two siege here. Not much Shadow going to be able to do. He already is low health. He used red abilities on droids and then successfully cleared them. We might just see this turret go down now. The first turret, just a little bit, it just needs a little bit more damage on it. Try to see if Shadow's going to try and contest this. And kind of a little bit of a bait. But now your first turret is going to be down on AI station at 10 minutes, 34 seconds. And yeah, that was what they needed. Love just went in, stun punched Swiggins through, and then they took a turret, excuse me, not totem, off the kill. Definitely a change of pace. And yeah, definitely can't let that happen again. The momentum isn't completely shifting again, and Please Love right now, especially as Love is going to go ahead and go back and spin her solar, but definitely can't let that continuously happen. The tornado is going to come down on Game is Broken. Looks like he's going to pick up the health. Actually, he's going to get zoned out of it because of the threat of Meow, and now he's going to go back. Scolder's just going to relax. He's going to chill, and yeah.
Interesting build. We are seeing a slow build from the Scree, so we're looking at double slow on the Sawblade as well, and the slow on the Sawblade is quite a lot. We're looking at 30% across both stages, so it's a very significant number. And when you're dealing with a frog, oh, here comes the slow in action right now. The frog has been
can't jump over the totem because of the slow.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about when it comes to how effective that slow can be when dealing with characters like Swiggins and Frog. And yeah, that was played again. I know we said it was in a reactive way, but basically the Scree just drops the totem whenever there's an enemy that extends into them, whether they've extended because they've been thrown or because they've dived in with an anchor or with a dash. It doesn't really matter. You drop that totem, they're not getting away from it. So it's an interesting build, and it's probably going to work out for them. Well, it is working out for them. We're looking at kills evening out back to 2-2.
That Anchor Dive missed there. Everyone just used abilities besides Frogs. I think you see a little bit of neutrality. Actually, Love going in. They actually get in a Ruckus corner. Shadow's going to be coming in now to make sure nothing happens. Spellblade's going to come out. Now, Game is going to be Anchor Dive Shadow looking for the splash dash. A little bit of a lagging splash. No comment.
No comment. No comment is needed. That was a perfectly legitimate dash, which on the Frog screen it would have absolutely connected. So well played from the Frog, and that's going to be 3-2 kills wise in favour of Team Meow. And they are looking to get a little bit of pushing. There's the Snare Quake coming out, just the Snare, not the Ite, as the as the Frog is looking to just punish a little bit. Although they do have both lanes clearing, they really need to push bottom here, but they're just not. That's one thing I picked up on Meow not doing is they're getting droids to the towers, but they're just not pushing with them. And I really don't understand. Well, that's a great NATO, but the Scree was enough to get a kill. But a 1-for-1 in that situation is perfectly acceptable for Team Meow, I'd say.
I'm actually not sure if it is, because now Night Rockets has to clear all this, and that leaves Game is Broken pretty free to go ahead and generate some push. As far as who could use the solar more, perhaps it's Team Meow, but it's as far as push generated off of this 1-for-1, it's going to be in favor of Please Love. Except, it looks like Game is Broken doesn't really want to try and challenge Night Rockets there. I think he would win a 1v1. He would take quite a bit of damage from Anchor Dive, but that would be it. Frog's already back in lane now, so nothing else is really going to go ahead and happen. And we're going to probably have a little bit of footsie knots. It looks like they're not really going in on Frog yet. You know, Nine Rockets is there. There's an Anchor Dive. The fishing tip is unsuccessful. There's the totem. They're trying to find Nine Rockets. Oh, there is the throw. Nine Rockets in a very bad spot, taking a lot of damage. Tries to Anchor Dive out. The body block coming out from Game is Broken to the set of the third punch for Love. It's going to be clean. 1-for-0. Great totem initiation. And then body block from Game is Broken coming out. It's what I said. People say that these guys are passive. That was an incredibly aggressive play and body block right in front of Meow's turret. That was insane. Wow. And
yeah,
now,
they're just pressuring at the right times. They're doing what Team Meow isn't, and whether it comes down to the comp or if it's just kind of game sense of thing. But one thing I've touched on earlier that Team Meow really isn't doing. They aren't finding any kind of push or map pressure where they have droids. They're just hunting around the map looking for kills when, if they see droids even remotely close to their tower, they need to be escorting them right there with them and making sure they're getting that damage in. Because at the moment, they're even on kills, but the push is just way in favor of Team Please Love right now. And I think it could be closer. I still think Please Love would be ahead even if Team Meow did this, but I think it definitely could be closer, and Team Meow could potentially force some engages coming out from Team Please Love just by pushing correctly.
I will agree with that assessment. And it's good that these guys want to find the team fight, but they're not able to clean up the droids as fast as they would like to be able to, and especially when they waste times with, like, for example, missed flash crashes, missed anchor dives. It's not that good. Like, there's another one.
Here's a fight.
And Night Rockets, he wants to get that pressure in from that anchor dive, but because he misses the next one that he could potentially use to make clearing go a little bit faster, he's gonna have to use it again to try and maintain pressure. Frog going in. Here is the big play here. Gets the tweeter bomb going on, but Night Rockets doesn't have his humble, can't follow up. He is going to get the droids cleared a little bit. He's really thinking about. He wanted to go in. That would have probably resulted in his death. He's wasting his humble. Perfect example of what we're talking about. Instead of finishing off these droids here, or at least pushing them back, they were ready to bomb to clean the bomb, and he wasted his humble. And just like now, he's not able to do anything to please Love. Like, he couldn't accept the fact that he missed that anchor dive, which might have resulted in his death. Like, probably 60-70%.
Ooh!
That was a great assassination and a great use of the AoE on the anchor dive to pick up a nice frag on Scree. That was insane. I actually think that totem actually killed him, if I'm not mistaken.
He doesn't have AoE. That was just straight hitting the Scree.
Oh. Well, either way.
It was a good anchor either way, knowing that the Scree was going to be there. Low HP, he'd seen that. And that's kind of, when I mentioned the Dave build, quotation marks, where they kind of went for this cooldown poking build with a Swiggin's Anchor. With there's just not very few situations where Team Please Love are low HP and are forced to defend. At the moment, Please Love, they're just staying at full HP and just slowly creeping forward, and they're waiting for the team fight. What Team Meow needs to do is they need to poke. They need to use their abilities to get damage in where they can, and just try and make it so that Please Love aren't always full HP and always in a position to keep pressuring.
And looks like they. Frog's going in 1v2, but it looks like Swiggins is going to be back there and go in. He's going to land an anchor dive on Scolder. He's going to take the creeps and might be able to find a frag there. The thrower not kind of coming out from Love. And Nine Rockets looks like he's ready to go in. Another miss. He's really got to be careful. He is low health, trying to anchor dive into a swing. This is risky already, and then he's also doing a lot of misses. Just needs to relax. And I said this so many times in this match. The fights that he can take are less numerous than the amount of fights that will look appealing to him. He's really got to make some really careful physical calls and not get too trigger happy, because it will lead to his mistakes, especially as the CC Hubbley's left continues to increase. And there's a perfect example. We got a double throw as a counter initiation to the anchor. Now Shadow's in a really bad spot. Screech trying to hunt him down, and there it is, that impeccable Screech tracking. Once the Screech tracking you, if you don't have a way to really retaliate or fight back, you're not going to get away. And because the Splash Dash was our cooldown, that's going to be a wipe in favor of Please Love. They're going to take out both turrets, push up the lanes really fast, and they already have it set up on the top lane. That's going to probably get Crichton, might even get taken down. They're just now collecting their solar. Please Love should be pushing this. They could have pushed that a lot more. They could have gotten that to half or even lower. Regardless, they will keep control on the bottom lane, and looks like they're now going to go back and spin their solars. What does the blue team need to be doing differently right now, and what do you think about their builds?
Well, I think the blue team builds are more or less okay if they were playing a regular game, but they're not playing a regular game. They're playing 2v2, and they're focusing for these team fights that Please Love are just being intelligent enough not to give them. We're looking at range being picked up on the Swiggin's anchor, which is, in theory, a great pick, but he's going to get thrown again, I think. Here comes the throw. After landing the Earthquake, the Frog's going to try and help, but he's not really going to be able to do much. He only has one stage of Turbo Tape, so he really needs to position himself carefully to land that full damage. He's got shield and double tweeters, so he has a lot of damage potential available to him, but he has to actually hit it, and at the moment he's not hitting it as much as he should be. But, Please Love, they're just making it really awkward for Team Meow to engage, and they're just not finding that engagement.
Yeah, I agree, and
now we're looking at the long snite. The long snite. Oh my god.
The long. But the thing is the swing is we've seen him die twice in a row because he aggressively anchor dived in to Scolder. We talked about how that matchup didn't win in Scolder's favor before the match, even if he would have picked up Treasure Lottery map, which he looks like he's got one ability left, but he's really going to want AoE, I think. He's got CC, he's going to have big opportunity counts on his third pickup. His cooldown's available, AoE is available, CC immunity is available. Really going to have to think carefully about it. That range dive is good for trying to surprise the red team, and there has been times where they've been really able, he hasn't been able to quite make it because they are in a position where they can kite the distance of the usual length of anchor dive, possibly not the maximum range. So will be interesting to see if he can make this work. He has picked up BKM, so he gets a little bit punched less by all the CC. Nice splash dash through the fire in order to evade the potential of being trapped in there by Please Love. They have to be so careful right now. It definitely looks like, looking at these items, we see Sandcastle, we see BKM coming out swinging. He's trying to survive this onslaught thing. This is inevitable. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough as he gets thrown and then taken out. Once again, the shield not enough. Splash dash he's going to use to get out that. They're stunned. He's kind of saving his life there, but Please Love still has complete control of the right area. They're going to fall back, actually. They managed to let a bunch of droids sneak up at the bottom. They're actually kind of doing what you were talking about earlier and controlling that bottom lane quite a bit more. Now that's a one bar, despite them not really even fragging to generate that push. And little splash dash is really not going to mean anything. You would probably be better off hitting the droids with that and then just taking the jump pad before he could be punished for it. Regardless, he's maintaining control. I don't think Please Love is really taking all the pushing opportunities that they can now. It's kind of like the opposite. Earlier they were taking all their opportunities, and Meow wasn't really taking all the pushing opportunities they could. Now it's the opposite, where the priorities have shifted, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, we're also looking at one team being the aggressive team, rather, whereas before, it's Team Meow being on the offensive. Now it looks like it's Team Please Love being on the offensive, so that kind of shift, you don't really expect the defensive team to have to go for pushes, so that's kind of why that's happening. A big fight here, Please Love being...
Nine Rockets making
Please Love very low. The Frog not quite able to get a kill. He could communicate to his Swiggin's teammate. The Scolder was low, but the Swiggin's would have probably died if he'd gone for that. But in the end,
he got out of that fire at 1 HP. There was no way.
Yeah, it's a 0 for 0 with the Frog picking up the health. He might be able to find the Genji, the Scree here, if he's aggressive enough. But no, the screen's going to go back, spend 340 solar now. And I wonder what we're going to be seeing. We're seeing attack speed, and we're looking at Scree building into pills. So a very AA-oriented build now that he's kind of got the team fight he needs with that slow damage, slow totem, the slow sword blade with damage. You know, they have all the tools they need for the team fights now. So now he's building to the AA for the chase now. And the Swordians again just diving in. As we said at the beginning, he thought he saw a fight he could go for. That was not a fight he could go for. Frog wasn't in position, and It's in a map like this where, you know, all the fights that you could go for, they're so telegraphed. It's really, really difficult for Meow to actually find a fight and, you know, to catch Please Love by surprise.
Frog is just completely pushed out here. If he were to try and splash dash at all, he dies. Without question. They could take this turret here. Again, these guys aren't thinking they're pushing opportunities. Like, they're getting pushed anyways. They could have taken that bottom turret right there, but alas, they didn't. Now, everyone's back in lane. We're going to have another paradigm reset. If history is an indicator, I think Please Love is going to fall back, go back to their shop, just get a few more items. I don't think they're going to even try and do much footsie knots. Actually, yeah, they're going to get back together. It looks like they're just going to they're not going to let the flyers creep up on them at the very least. And yeah, they're just relaxing. Looks like they might take a play. They're looking for the snare, and they find it. He's going to splash dash out. Right before the Sol hits him, which could have gone really drastically. That slow was enough to make them capitalize at the end of the splash dash destination. Big aggressive play coming out. The totem flank comes in. Please Love forces the fight. Ned Rock is in a really, really bad spot. He's going to go down. That was a great totem flank. Completely caught me out off guard. Their pants down. And now they might just be able to take this turret. There's the splash dash. There's the NATO. Won't be able to quite punch them, but they have the totem to go ahead and take the bottom turret. That was insanely good totem and insanely good awareness and confidence coming out from Game is Broken.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a brilliant totem. Coming behind, you know, he knew that Team Meow were looking for an initiate and they were looking for it on the Skulder. That means they weren't really paying attention to the Screws movement. He snuck in behind. That was a perfect totem, and it was just brilliant. It set up all the CC. They landed the snare quick there. You know, that couldn't have gone any better, really. That was the absolute perfect team fight that Please Love were looking for.
And at this point, they are kind of snowballing. They're getting more and more damage upgrades and pulling ahead in terms of solar. They also have a full level advantage that's about to become 2 level advantages. The kills are 9 to 5. They have totems, while not even their front still as weak as that bottom one. The 9 Rocket's in a bad spot. That's going to have to wait. He's not going to get that health. Gets a little bit too chicken there. And now, but he's still going to find the creeps anyways and then pick up the health orb later. There's the Anchor Dive, there's Splash Dash. Meow's trying to force a fight that they could possibly win. Love, but because of the snowballing that we just talked about, Love is going to get out at just 1 HP, but Ninrockus is going to find the assassination, completely aware that Game is Broken is there. Now we're in a really big fight. If she lands that third punch, he doesn't have to humble up for another 5 seconds. She's healing off the droids. So looks like she knew to disengage. She might have been able to keep going for that, but there's definitely a frag opportunity completely denied from 9 Rockets. He's going to go ahead, clear this out. Looks like Love might take these creeps and drop through the fire, try and force the fight. Here it comes. She lands, and he sees it. Oh, there it is. There's the snare. There's the throw. He tries to anchor back towards the jump pad, so he's not going to make it.
He's still alive.
Oh!
Someone isolate that audio. Yeah, he's still alive.
Wow.
Oh, Pilong, I'm getting triggered again. We're looking at people buying Barrier Mag after buying pills. It frustrates me, please. Yeah, the Scully. But
maybe she didn't know that she was going to get barrier. Maybe she thought that she might be getting boots, because she did piggyback off of it.
That is true, but you know, speaking of the build that they have gone for, opting for double Barrier Mag and pills against a gank comp is exactly what you want to do. You know, it makes it so that if you ever do initiate on the Skulder, I mean, like the Frog did basically all his damage to the Skulder there. The Skulder is still in a position to fight, 2-3 more fights, so he's good to go.
Meow has to be so careful right now. At this point, another frag could definitely cause their base to go below even a single kill, if not cost them the game. So they are going to have to group up. They are going to have to be careful in their lane rotations and not do what they're doing right now.
Exactly what, yeah.
Anchor Dive is going to be the miss. That would actually have been the frag that they needed if that anchor had connected. So
yeah, it's so unfortunate. They're getting so close to winning these fights, but then, you know, something goes wrong. They miss an ability. They don't quite get enough NATO ticks, or, you know, Something happens, a heal punch happens to stop the Skulder dying, but the Frog's in a bad spot now. He's totemed off. He's going to die to the dot. He's super dead. He's trying to shield away the damage, but there's no way. And I think the Swiggins is maybe going to get caught, but no, it's just the Swiggins defending against the screen of Skulder. There's not much he can do. They're going straight for the base, and they know it's pretty much over at this point.
We're going to see a lot of damage on this base. Nine Rockets cannot die here. If he dies, the game is over. If he can let his base get to even 4 or 5 or 2 or 1.5 bars, whatever, and then try and do an insane team fight from Frog, he can make this happen. But he's going to get thrown, struck by all this team. He's dead. Now there's nothing Frog can do. He's in the exact same situation Swiggins was. There's no way he can solve this out.
Yeah, the game's over. Like, even if the Frog lands all of his damage onto the screen now, it's not going to kill. There's no way you can defend the space. The game is definitely over. It's just a matter of waiting for the base to actually die. Okay, that's the kill. And any second now, and victory. Okay, Please Love going to take the first game of this 2-game series against Team Meow. Wow. I put money on Meow at the beginning because I really thought, you know, they had the potential to just be really aggressive, find the kills they needed, and just keep going with it, but they just couldn't. Please Love played in such a way that it was really awkward for them to find that team fight, and the way they made for the build, the way they built their characters as well, they committed fully to the idea of winning that team fight, whereas what they maybe should have opted for is for poking, you know. Frog could have gone for range day, and, you know, just gone for the poking. He could have gone clocks a lot earlier, potentially. Just anything to get damage in wherever they could, whenever the opportunity is, and they might have done a bit better, you know, finding these team fights when Please Love were low, because, you know, a lot of the kills we saw were just assassinations on characters that on Team Please Love when one of their characters was half HP. You know, it was very rarely that kills actually happened from a straight up 2 versus 2 team fight, and if they did, it was right at the beginning of the game with their NATO ticks. So again, they could have potentially built a bit differently, but also Please Love, they played it very, very methodically. You know, they made sure that they weren't playing into their hands and going for the strict team fights. They played carefully, but then when they saw an opportunity, they went for one. So when they knew that, yes, we can get a kill here, they absolutely went for it. You know, they threw the totem out that slowed them enough for the Scholar to run forward with a long snite, get the stun punch, and then throw them back into the slow totem with a sword blade there. You know, that was a kill. That was a very methodical way of getting kills. And, you know, the Awesomenauts game, they were just winning consistently. I would have liked to have seen Meow, I mentioned this a few times, I would have really liked to see Meow pushing up a bit more when they had droids there. You know, I saw, you know, maybe 5 or 6 times when they had droids at a tower and they decided to rotate to the other lanes. No, push that lane. That's what you meant to do. Get the damage in, because if you can if you can make them feel pressured and force them to rotate instead of keep separated, keep the pressure on the droids, then you can maybe find chinks in their armor when they're playing defensive. But it just didn't happen. They didn't go for that push. They instead rotated, kept looking for these kills that they just didn't find enough of them.
There was a point when they had given enough kills to Gamers Brilliant Love, as you kind of mentioned, that they could just actively hunt for the kills. At the point where they can last several team fights, but they also can just keep on just go in and not be afraid of the counter initiation that they would have otherwise had they not snowballed. And like, they would just go in, you know, if Love misses a throw and then goes to, you know, half health and walks away, who cares? She's just gonna go punching droids, grab a creep maybe, and then just go try it again until the throw hits. And late game, that's what we saw doing. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, it was an interesting game, and we will take a quick break. Pay attention to the chat where there may or may not be a giveaway. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Is he being ambiguous or is he uninformed?
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'm just being mysterious to keep you intrigued. And yeah, we will be back after a short break.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. My name is Mr. Pillow. Joining me once again is the Udster.
Hello! I'm here again. More games, more 2v2. Ah, I love it! Tournament, casting, things. Wow!
More gameplay.
Indeed.
We actually have one more match to show you guys today. This will be the last match of the day. We have to cut it a little bit earlier than we did. It's going to be Meow versus Please Love. And once again, go ahead and type red or blue into the chat, whoever you think is going to win. And if you guess correctly, you have until the end of the what do you call it? Sorry, I got tongue-tied. You have until the end of the match end of the draft talk to get your guess, and then the match will announce who guessed correctly. I know I'm bad at the English language, but so I'm going to go ahead and take us through the draft, my friend. Team 1 is Meow. Your team 2 is Please Love. Again, Meow is the red team. The Please Love is the blue team. Your first band is going to be Genji, and and then the two bands from Please Love will be Leon, Leon and Froggy G. Meow going to come back with a band of Benny, and they are going to first pick Shuto. And then Please Love is going to get Skull Deer out into the game, and they are going to then ban out Sentry, in which in response Meow will be picking up Raylan, banning out Yuri, and then we'll see a last pick from Please Love going to be that classic Penny Serona. And sir, how are you feeling about these comps, my friend?
Yeah, they look good. They're both two very strong comps, and they're kind of suited to each map in a slightly different way. We've got the Brawling comp from Team Skulder, Team Skulder and Penny, Team Please Love. They've definitely got the Brawling in their favour. They've got throws, they've got pounces that can really get in there and do a lot of damage. Whereas Team Meow, they've got a bit more of a poking comp. They can do a lot more brawling. They can definitely brawl quite effectively using that bike, using the AAs, and using the Rift, of course, for the team fight. But one thing I would really, really like to see, I would love to see this Raylan build into Snipe, because Snipe in 2v2s is incredibly powerful. You just snipe someone every time you see them. You just snipe. You just keep them low all the time. You know, we've been saying in previous games, something we saw Team Dave do in the first game we casted was opt for cooldown on the anchor, just keep on poking them with that damage over and over again. Raylan is immensely good for that, especially if you build into snipe damage early, because it means you land one snipe, a person is knocked out of fighting for like the next 30 seconds. It's incredibly good. And in Serona especially, you've got all these angles for the snipes, and it's brilliant. Chucho is there for great push, great follow-up if they can find a situation where Skulder doesn't have throw available, or they can find a situation where Penny's used pounce. If in an ideal team fight situation where everyone lands everything, Please Love are probably going to win just because Pulse and Pounce is just such a powerful team fighting tool. But in like a Footsie situation where people are landing abilities, it's easily going to go the way of Meow. Like the snipe alone is going to be so vital for this game.
It really is. And one of the things, Skulder has a lot of trouble going on Raylan if she has the Rift in prompt time. If she can make Skulder go through a rift, especially when he doesn't realize he's going to have to go through one, and it just pops as he comes in, that is something that can just go from what would have been a clean initiation to an easy kill on Skulder. And as long as she can finesse her way to find those kind of initiations with the rift, then that's not going to be looking very good for Skull Deer at all. And then when you take the fact that Shucho, it has can go the cooldown build with the stickies and constantly get all that harass in. That is actually something that can be incredibly scary. It's something that I really think Please Love and Meow are gonna have to watch out for. So that's do you have any more thoughts? I kind of want to get into this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting into it straight away. I mean, it's interesting. Both teams can definitely win this, but the way they're going to go about it is very different. So it's this kind of contrast of playstyles. We saw it last time, but that was a very more aggressive versus defensive. Both these team comps can be very aggressive. It's just they're aggressive in a slightly different way. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think we're going to be seeing an absolute stall fest like we saw with the 42-minute game that was actually surprisingly close and very intense. But you know, I think on this map especially. In kind of a competitive scenario, I don't think it's going to be that long of a game, so we will have to see.
All right, well, with that said, your chance to get your guesses are over, or we're going to get into this game. I will give us a countdown. I am at the 12-second mark. Are you ready, my friend?
Is this to start the game?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am ready when you are.
3, 2,
1, and we are off. And on the red team, you're going to have Shadow playing your Raylan. You are going to have Night Rocket playing your Shucho, and you will have Game is Broken playing your Penny on the blue side of things. And once again, taking out her classic Scolder that we've all come to know and fear her for. They will be taking a dominant control of mid, but not before they go ahead and try and contest it. Sticky Bomb's not going to do much. It's really going to take a lot of damage while not really accomplishing much with it. The Sniper's going to be a whiff. Love is going to go ahead and deny the health off the Worm, and a very dominant "this is my mid" presence has already come from the blue team. Love staying very firmly inside the cage, and looks like here comes another sniper trying to see if they can find some poke. Not much. That actually connected to Game is working. Excuse me. He's gonna pick up the health behind the bottom back turret. How do you think the first blood's going to go down, Edster?
I think it might be a while. If it's going to happen, it's going to be from the Penny landing a pounce or the Scaldy landing a throw. Sorry, not a pounce, but oh, that's a nice pulse landing onto only the shoot show, really. Penny going for a bit of worm farm, but gets a little bit scared since the red team has the middle of the map. But I think at first blood, it might be a while before an actual kill happens, because of how easy it is for both teams to kind of escape. I think it might come from the Scalder overextending, maybe. It might come from the Penny overextending, maybe. You know, there's nothing really obvious that would indicate what the first blood is going to be. I think this is just going to be a match of who can keep the other team lower, and then who can get pushed from that.
I agree, and Shadow, he's already oh, that snipe almost touched. I couldn't tell if he was just behind the was he just behind the end range?
Well, I think Ping played a little bit. I think he was out of range in the time when it fired for Shadow there, because you have to remember there is a bit of a ping difference here. So
Russia versus Brazil, it happens, but both players, they are trying their best to respect that and trying to use the lag to their advantage as far as, you know, putting that extra step in their timing. The hit detection is client side, and so what you basically got to do is just got to think, you know, half a second to a second ahead, play a little bit of 4D chess, and you just want to, normally the amount of distance that you would kite an ability, you just want to add like 1 or 2 feet. That's all you got to do, and it actually becomes not that difficult. Game is Broken going very hard. He's going to whip his ability. He's going to take a lot of damage. This shoot show bomb not going to be enough to finish him. It's going to be enough to guarantee he goes back to base. Still put Scolder here in a 1v2 situation for about 10 to 15 seconds. Meantime, we're seeing Sustain being picked up on both members of Police Love. We see Piggy making the flowers, and once again, when we see Harry Snipe Match being picked up by the Penny. What do you think about the Harry and the Snipe Match picked up in the flower?
Oh, that's a pretty huge team for that.
That both leads into the punch. That's going to be the first blood. For 2 minutes and 57 seconds in favor of Please Love. Dang!
Nidorakis was at less than 50 health there. That was very, very close. Again, that was, you know, I said the Penny was the main tool there. The Penny landed a pounce on 2 players, and then, you know, the follow-up from the Scalder was more than enough to get the kill there onto that Raylan. The Raylan needs to be careful, and one thing I've not been seeing, I haven't really seen the Raylan landing that many snipes. I think I've seen maybe 2 snipes land already, and, you know, with 3.5 minutes into this game right now, this Raylan is really, really vital for keeping the poke on, keeping the pressure. The sticky bombs have been landing great, and there's a snipe with a sticky bomb. You know, throwing a snipe and a sticky bomb, that's one person knocked out of the lane, and they have to, you know, use their health resources. If they do that again, they're going to be able to get some pushing.
Yeah, they really will. And
Blind on snipe being picked up by the rain, and using it there, 360 really no scopes.
Say what? Sorry.
360 no scopes with the blind on snipe attempting there.
Might go full MLG here. Depends. It has to do with how many bottles of Mountain Dew that Shadow has consumed for this match. And it looks like not enough, as he just barely let Love go. A nice Quake for cementing that kill in her favor, while Game is Broken has a similar situation with his sticky bomb. It's not quite enough. He manages to just finish off Chucho before he dies himself. That's going to be a wipe at the 4-minute mark, and that's going to be very good. Looks like they're going to choose to crack both turrets in favor of taking one. As the game is broken, it's got the half. Now they're going to take this. They should be able to take this turret. Raylan's going to be in time to contest it, but they still should be able to do a lot of damage to this turret. The bottom turret notoriously does not have that much health on the front here of Corona. Here comes the snipe. Not going to find it. Might have been able to clip. Game is broken. I like that thing that Scolder did. Gonna go ahead and teleport out before the sticky bomb detonates. That is something that you can use to start teleporting before the sticky procs, or if you're affected by the fast forward a time bubble.
And there's no slow involved as well. No, slow? DOT. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of brawling happening here. They're dodging a lot of abilities. The Chucho's managing to dodge almost all the Skulldugger stuff. There's the Pulse. The Pulse is going to miss. We might be seeing here a jump snipe maybe from the Raven. There's a snipe. It does land. An AA. Beautiful play from the Raven, managing to kill that Penny. And the Skulldugger is not really in a position to defend. This is where Team Meow, they need to push up right now. And that's exactly what they're doing. They need to clear that top lane. Or just pressure bomb, you know, either one. They're going to probably get a tower here, I imagine. Maybe not, actually. I don't know. Hard to tell.
And if that sticky bomb, just the constant poke that we're seeing here is not really. I would like to see the cooldown build coming out, and possibly even a combination of Black Bell and Trick Up Your Sleeve. So you get the. I think Red Team has the potential to really, if they build correctly and intelligently, make their poke completely outweigh the sustain of the blue team. The blue team going to be going in. The pulse, the whip throw, the sticky bombs can hit. Everyone slightly more health in favor of the blue team. They will be the ones that concede mid, however, to the red team. Except KB Sproken going back in to pounce Shadow, put him dangerously low. And now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the bike. The snipe is going to hit, and that puts.
That was questionable. That was a hell of a snipe. That. But again, you know, snipe with the blind. It's quite nice when dealing with Penny, because Penny really needs to be quite aware of the movements and wherever it is to be able to land the pounce, the pulse rather. And we've been seeing the pulse. You know, we've seen it land on two people twice, but we've seen it miss quite a few times as well. So the team fights, if like one ability whiffs on from Team Please Love, I think Team Meow are really in favor to win these fights.
There's going to be another frag picked up right there. Just kind of really caught out of position and just kind of getting the entirety of the blue team platform. And as a reward for the successful frag, they will be taking that bottom turret. They will be pushing the Pred droids up on top lane. Really not. I would really like to see Braylon go cooldown on her snipe build, but it doesn't look like that's going to be a possibility, as both the CC immunity shield, Iron Rifle, and blind is being picked up, leaving her for damage or range. Is the more lots of damage.
Oh!
The assassination.
That was insane. I've never seen a kill like that. That was ridiculous. One of the bouncer got pounced down by the Penny and straight into the Skulldugger. That was an incredible kill. I'm not sure if that was calculated, I'm sure, but you know, that was really good game sense. You know, being able to use that opportunity from being pounced to managing to secure that kill.
Yeah, indeed, and that's the sort of momentum. They find those 3 frags. That's one of the things that Rockets can try to really need to do right now. They don't really win team fights that well, but they do find just cheesy tweak offs. Shadow going to be throwing it, taking a lot of damage. He's going to take the Quake, taking unnecessary turret damage that he can't really afford right now. He's still getting out at 1 HP, and he's going to do a snipe at 1 HP that takes out Lob. Oh my god.
Yeah, Iron Rifle is a very effective tool in Raylan. If you're able to kind of prolong the team fight, you can get one snipe off at the beginning, and then run around, throw the Rift to disrupt, keep landing your AAs, and then if you have the Iron Rifle, you're kind of safe to do a snipe at 1 HP when people wouldn't necessarily expect it, and that was very well played from Shadow there. Great use of the Iron Rifle shield, and we are seeing Shadow opt for the snipe damage, which is what I recommended in the draft section of this game, so it's nice to see that, because the snipe is just so effective at poking people and keeping them low.
It really is. And we are going to see just a little bit of footsie knots coming out here. Not much really occurring of note. There's Rift. They try and actually catch him out, but now he's going to take a little bit of damage. Here comes that Iron Rifle snipe. It's going to be a nice shoot from Love, but now she's going to take a sticky bomb. Whip pounce, taking a lot of damage. Love as the bomb has detonated. I really want to see. The Chucho is building into. So far, he has picked up nice kill, and now he's building into blackmail. How do you feel about the way he's going about this?
Yeah, it's a fine build. He's got the regen, he's got the damage he needs, and you know, going for blackmail just to secure those hits. You know, even if he misses, because he has missed a few times, and having blackmail would have really helped zone out a lot more. It's nice poke onto the Skulldugger and onto the Penny. They're both kind of too low to fight at this point. The pounce is going to land, knocking the Chucho straight into the middle of the map. But yeah, these fights, if Ray can land a snipe on the Skull, that's a lot of damage, a lot of poke onto the Skulldugger. As you see, yeah, just a sneaky bomb and a sticky bomb and a snipe. A sneaky bomb and a stipe. There we go. is enough to deal plenty of damage to Skolde, keep him out of the lane, unable to really fight. We've seen BKM being picked up by the Skolde. That's just for the time rift. Like, there's nothing else you need to worry about. I guess it's slow on Sticky Bomb, and maybe the knockback on the bike, but against time rift, it's so effective to buy that extra slow. That's a great kill onto the Penny, and now the Skolde is being hunted down. The Sticky Bomb's going to land. There's a snipe. Skolde's very low. He's been chased down, but I don't think they're going to be able to find the kill. Team Meow need to get some push in right now. He's going to retract the bike, and looks like they're going to commit everything to top lane. And that, on a bottom lane rather, they have the bike and they're able to push with the bike. It's a very clever play. Instead of opting for the droids where the Skolde is looking to defend, go for the other lane. You know, you have a portable push with that bike, so that's well played from Team Meow.
A little nice trick there. One of the things you can also do with what's the name? The name of the bike, Ramona, I believe, is if you recall the bike right before it dies and then instantly recall it, the cooldown on that is extremely short. It will instantly be back at full health. You can actually use this as long as you're not contested and some incredible push onto a turret. And it's something that I think we might see, especially if they get the chance to do some more cheese turret like that uncontested. Oh, love taking a lot of damage. Going to go ahead and hill punch off the creeps, and it's going to take her about back to 2/3 or so. And some pretty dominant red presence coming out. Love going to go ahead to try and warm all the droids while that easy opportunity is there, but taking a lot of damage, might just get sniped for it. She wanted that easy droid clearing opportunity, and immediately Meow says, okay, it's either the droids or you, and you just pick that, your life. You pick the droids.
Yeah, that Skolde, the movement there was not that great. Positioned himself in such a way that he couldn't really do that much. Here's the snipe. Game is broken, gonna wait under the worm.
Oh my god.
They're looking for the AAs. They can't quite find it. The Sticky Bomb's going to whiff. Oh! Is he going to get away? He's surely not. He's going to teleport, right? He's out. He's out. There's no way he's catching him. He's gone.
Game is
what
broken.
An amazing escape.
Dancing under the worm.
Yeah. That was an amazing escape from the Game is broken. We are seeing a lot of solar, by the way, being stored up on the Raylin and the Chucha. We're looking at 230 on the Chucha and 560 on this Raylin. When they do go back to spend, I expect to see snipe damage being finished up. Maybe throwing regen, maybe throwing piercing AA, maybe throwing some AA damage, you know. This Raylin is going to get a very nice power snipe when she decides to go back. Oh, that's a great drop snipe. Not quite enough to get the kill, but it's a lot of damage nonetheless. And Game is broken, even after picking up the health, is still not really in a position to teamfight. Oh, he just got a 50. Never mind.
That was convenient.
He's back to health.
It's giving Red Team a lot of pressure on momentum. Look at that blind snipe. They don't even know how to respond.
Yeah, that was an amazing snipe. Like, hitting two people going at the bouncer when they're both dropping. That's not easy to do. Oh, using the iron rifle there to block the stun punch, canceling the snipe. That's a dead Skolde easily. Skolde, that's one kill confirmed. And now the red team is actually dominating. They started off 4 kills down to 1 kill, and now they're up 6 kills to 4. It's a very nice comeback they've got here. And they're playing to their advantages at the moment. They're just landing the abilities, keeping them low, keeping the momentum in their favor, and that's exactly what they need to be doing. This Raylan's going to spend eventually. She has 650 solar right now, but they're winning so much at the moment. They don't really have the time to spend. They need to capitalize on all these kills they're getting.
I love watching Chucho clear like a bunch of droids at once. It's like what I was talking about earlier with the Vinny and the double spike dive. It's just like droid clearing porn, man. Like that, just watching that stuff disappear. He sees like a cluster of 4 droids. He just walks up to him. That throw is just barely out of the nick of time. Just need a sliver more opportunity.
Yeah, there's the max snipe damage, and we're looking at the big AA damage upgrade and HC bomb. This Raylan now has a lot of burst at her side, and a lot of that is brawling. You know, this is huge for Team Meow at the moment. They're really in a dominating position, and it's just going to be, you know, the age-old question when you're facing Please Love is, can you crack their defense? And with a build like this, I reckon they might be able to.
Indeed. And we see bug darts coming out. That's the sort of damage Penny has. As that's going to really be word English. That's going to be increase the damage of her pulse. And I don't know. I don't know if that'll make much of a difference. It could. Speaking of cracking defenses, help crack that shield on the. Actually, it wouldn't, because that's CC immunity, so there's not going to be any implication there. It's not going to be a huge difference, I think. But
yeah, if you throw in a stun punch as well, you know, it's going to make it so that you're guaranteed to crack it no matter what ability you use. So if you can land 2 abilities on the Raylan that would get her out of snipe, then you'll be fine. You know,
Very true. We will have to see. We are seeing the Buffalo Zort and Fortnite Visor coming out. I'm sure we should be seeing the Time Slipper come out soon. That means that the grenades of the Sticky Bomb of Nine Rockets are going to be doing lots of damage. They will be doing around 708 damage flat late game, plus another good 300 DOT, and he'll have 2 attack speed to be able to have tremendously short cooldown. Big T-Fight coming out the throat. It's a rip. That, oh man, Game is Broken is going to be able to survive that. Going to make it a 1-for-1. Shadow just had to run to the right of that rift, I think, after
it's a good sticky. That's a very important sticky to land as well, because it keeps him low. He's got the bike. He's going to get a little bit of push in here. But he should be careful.
That could have been that uncontested push with Ramona respawning we talked about earlier, but last he's just pushing up the lane. Big fight, nice pulse,
nice
off
pulse.
The jump pad, and he's looking for the last hit. Oh, and this is insane, this chase. Oh, the pulse is a whiff. James Bergen still going for it, and he gets dropped down. He has a pulse. I know he's not going to catch it. Now he's stuck in a rift.
He's out. Great job by Nidarakas. And the snipe as well. Very well played from Team Meow. They're getting out and doing a fair amount of damage to the Penny in the process. We're looking at Sticky Bomb. Can there be a jump snipe? Is it going to happen? He's silenced right now. The snipe's not going to be there, but it is going to hit the Penny, who's diving in. The Penny's low. Okay, the Raylan's going to also teleport out. The Raylan now going for slow on the time rift, which is only really going to help against this Penny now, because the BKM on the Skulder is going to pretty much nullify anything that Rift is going to do. I mean, I know it's only a 30% reduction, sorry, but it really, really does cripple the amount that Rift does. You know, time slows, even a tiny increase to a time slow, really, really, you can feel it a lot. I mean, you know, the old 5% extra slow on the Yuri build, you really felt a difference every single stage you got of that. So, I had a migrating uploader there. That was strange.
Migration. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see. And now we're looking
at... It's going to be going down there, and that is not the sort of kill that... that was a 1-for-1. That was actually really interesting. Looks like the turret's going to finish off the Chucho. So that's a 1-for-1. We're seeing yet again Gamers Broken going on the offense, forcing that 1v1, waiting for the rift to end, and now should be going... He's just going to clear the joy. He's going to let himself possibly get sniped. It's going to be a whiff. There's rift used on nothing. I guess she thought that Penny might chase, but ideally, she's just... Gamers Broken is going to clear, wait for love to get back in lane, and they're just playing the hey, I'm not fighting you, you're not fighting me, let's just clear joys. They're both waiting on their teammates. Shadow decided enough is enough and pops the rift. Nothing gonna happen. Kind of more of a little chess player, like, yeah, that's right, I am ripping you out of mid, you better run. And now Team Meow is going to just be grouping up. They're going, looks like they're going to be moving forward, looking for their rift. We're seeing if they can catch anyone in, and yeah, not much of nothing much really occurring right now. There's a actually nice double snipe. Now the pressure's occurring. Ooh, the Sticky Bomb and the rift. Yeah, we should see some push coming out soon.
Yeah, I mean, they're not quite capitalizing. It's the same problem they had in the first game they played, where, you know, they have the potential to get the push, but they're just not. And, you know, they really could be going for a lot more push than they are. That's a great pounce onto the Raylan. There's the throw as well. That Raylan is very, very dead. An almost amazing rift there. Going to do a lot. They're going to be a little bit of push in the shoot shot, but
she had missed that snipe when they came down on that. I'm not even sure if that pounce would have connected, because when you calculate the bounce back that the snipe would apply, but that was guaranteed 1-for-1. Even if she still got pounced anyways, because, you know, they were. I mean, one of them was definitely, and the other possibly within just one snipe's damage worth of HP.
And so cannot die here. If he dies, it's a huge momentum swing. He's getting quite greedy going for the Penny, but it's risky.
Well, the Penny looks like completely disengaged. Nyrockets actually preserved that top turret, believe it or not. I mean, that thing is one droid attack away from dying, but the fact that that's still there, he managed to chase them both out and secure some pressure while he waited for Shadow to get back is actually really, really significant. Still very unfortunate they didn't make that a 1-for-1 earlier, but he's salvaging it as best as he can.
Yeah, I mean, that turret is so dead, you can't even see it on the minimap for me, so...
yeah, same.
Yeah, I think if you sneeze on it, it will die, so... let's hope that no one on the blue team has a cold.
We see two interesting upgrades coming out on both sides. We see Overdrive gear being picked up on Chucho, while Penny's going to be picking up Big Banghorn. That is an additional 0.3 second stun on Pounces. How do you think this is going to factor into the team fights?
Stun is like one of the most underrated items on Penny. It's insanely good. It allows you to land so much more damage. because it's not just stun, it gives you more time to land the damage, and a lot of the time if you open with the pounce and then go for the stun, it's incredible how much CC you're putting out and how good your team fight becomes as a result. Overdrive gear for Chucho gives him a lot more flexibility because, you know, it's not just the charge, the nitro boost and the sticky one cooldown. It's also the cooldown of him getting on and off the bike, which a lot of the time is an underrated. You know, it's not something people consider when they think about Overdrive gear for Chucho. You know, you think about his abilities, but it actually decreases the cooldown of his, state switch. And here's a massive team fight. There's the Penny going to go down. The Skulder's not really in a position to fight here. This is going to be a lot of push. He cannot really defend against this Chucho. And the Raylan, sorry.
Should be that turret going down here. There's really not much love can do. She might find the luck. Yeah, I was about to say she might go for a lucky snipe there, but pretty predictable.
That's a cute snipe there, using the shield to block the droid damage. It's a very nice amount of damage there. Yeah, we're looking at an exposed base exposure, boys, and yeah, it's in favor of Team Yao.
Wow, he's gonna go ahead and teleport back. Actually, I say he's not letting up, but you know. That pounce again, that's the second time we're just like nanoseconds after someone teleported. These guys are they okay? Okay, yeah,
they're fine. We're looking at regen on the Raylan. Very good for getting this last stage of the game, you know. If you're gonna be pushing into the base, you're not gonna have that much access to health. So having that regen is going to be really important to keep yourself at full HP, keep being able to put the pressure on, and especially in 2v2s, it's really, really useful. And you know, we see both members of, we see all four players really opting for regen options. We're seeing one stage on the Penny, and of course the Snipe Badge. You're seeing heal punch on the Skulder. You know, not necessarily regen, but going for regen on the Skulder, you don't really have the freedom to do that.
That was a nice pounce off the jump pad. I don't know if you caught that one, but it's nice prediction.
Well, that's a great snipe. And a great sticky bomb. That Skulder is very low. The pulse manages to hit onto the Chucho, but it's not that, it's not that consequential. He does have double regen. And they do have droids in this bottom lane. They should really focus, pushing to the base. The Penny's exposed. They don't need to go clear that top lane. Well, I suppose they don't really want to lose the tower. Fair enough. Using the blind on the snipe there to stop them doing damage. Yeah, I suppose that's fair enough.
It is Solar and XP and Super Droid that they are delaying. I think it's the breath.
Yep.
Both teams have the idea of, hey, let's look for those quick pokes. Oh, that snipe back onto the cliff might be very, very deadly. Controlling the jungle, Chucho is, and doesn't control the other creep. Love's going to pick it up. Here comes another snipe. Now it's going to hit droids. Both teams look for those poking opportunities, but Meow is just finding them so much more consistently. That has to do with their comp, and that has to do with a lot of the boldness that they're seeing. You know, they really got Please Love pressured back and on the defense. What can Please Love do to turn this around?
They need to find a throw, and you know, Love just she's not really looking for the throw as much as I think she could be. She's kind of playing it quite safe, waiting for the initiate to happen, but when the initiate happens from red team, they do a lot of damage and then they get away. It's not like the other comp where they commit everything to fights. Speaking of committing to fights, the Penny's going to go down, and now it's just the Skulder versus the Raylan and the Chucho. The Chucho's very low, the Raylan's very low, but the Skulder is getting lower. That's going to be a wipe. Maybe it was a double, I can't remember. But either way, that's a wipe, and yeah, the red team is pushing into the base. And this is over, like, more than over. We've got 80 damage on Raylan. Chucho's a beast when it comes to the structure damage. And you got like 8 droids there. Penny's not even hit the ground. This is way over.
Wow.
And yeah.
Well, that was a match of Awesomenauts. So, we were just, probably 30 seconds ago, I was asking you what should the blue team have be doing differently. Now, what should they have done differently?
Yeah, well, what should they have done differently was really, they could have been a lot more aggressive. You know, you've got Penny and you've got Skulder. If you can get in the face of the enemy team, you can really put the pressure on and make sure that you're finding kills. You know, you're getting the throw, you're using the bounces on Serrano to drop down on people, find the throw. You know, go for the double pulse into the pounce for some assassinators. You know, in the very beginning of the game, they were on that, they were doing that. But then they just, as they started to kind of lose some momentum, they really just fell back into this kind of defensive mode. And when you're playing against characters with like long-range poke, and I was touching it at the very end, but it got interrupted by the team fight, is that the team fight from Team Red, you did the damage, but then you were able to get out afterwards. You didn't have to commit that much to it. in the previous game, we saw anytime the Team Meow went in, they had to fully commit. You know, they went in with a frog dash, they went in with the swig and anchor, and then they were super vulnerable. With this, it's just you snipe from a screen away, you throw a sticky bomb from a screen away, and then what does Please Love do, you know? Please Love needed to be the team to take the initiative and go for these kills, and in the end of the game, they just didn't do it.
And that's one of the things we consistently saw Nine Rockkiss and Shadow just not only going in and being able to kite because of their range on the entirely melee comp that is Please Love, will also manage to keep finding their abilities. And things like when, for example, Shadow would confidently do a snipe at 1 HP and pick up a frag that way, was absolutely significant. And that Rift played a big part in them not being able to go in that much. They got caught in it. Excuse me, Please Love that is not being able to go in that much. And just the amount of times that a blind and that they got blinded, which as a melee you don't want to be blinded on someone that's already doing a pretty decent job of kiting you, and the constant damage being dealt out by the snipes and sticky bombs was absolutely insane. And the amount of frags that they were able to constantly find, the amount of times that they were able to stay in low because they were able to dodge, just really made life so much easier for Meow. Like Jujo Rayland is one of those kind of wanky drafts where you're just like, what? But they actually managed to make that work so perfectly, and I honestly think you wouldn't think it against, Skolder and Pinion Serona. I felt Please Love was just completely out-comped here and just ran out of options. It was really a nice draft in favor of Meow, and they made the comp work.
In the 2 versus 2 format, being able to deal damage without putting yourself at too much of a risk is really, really useful. So Raylan is such a powerful Naught because you can take off half of someone's health from a screen away. It's such a useful ability to have. And I'm not sure how effective the blind snipe was. The Iron Rifle was an amazing pick because it stopped her snipe being cancelled by the stun punch and by the pounce. That was amazing done there by Team Meow. But yeah, the blind snipe maybe could have been replaced by cooldown, maybe could have been replaced by range, but it's hard to judge how effective blind is as an ability. So.
That said, anyway, we are at the end of our stream today. We do have to cut it a little bit shorter than we did yesterday due to a smaller quantity of teams checking in. That said, we will have our qualifiers results posted by the end of the night. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream this weekend. And it's been awesome. I appreciate everyone coming out to the chat. And I also just want to thank all the staff right quick. Thank you for Edster for casting with me today and for helping me organize all the teams that were playing this morning and helping with a bunch of the administrator issues and getting teams sorted out. I want to thank you guys don't only see this half of the stream. For those of you just coming in to watch the gameplay, getting the matches played and getting it organized is a tremendous effort, and it's Edster, Slevin's, Masslink that have been a tremendous help in just keeping everything running smoothly and functional. So big shout out to them. Thank you for Mimi for doing some excellent work. She's been in charge of your giveaways the past 2 days. Thanks for Celty, who has been on the back burner, just waiting to see. In the odd case my internet went down, my computer exploded, he was ready with the stream, completely ready as a backup. Had Uberancy and Nicklick channel cast yesterday. They were on backups for today. So big round of applause for them. Thank you so much. Thanks for Ronimo Games for sponsoring us for the DLC. And the crew's going to be back next week. It's going to be the playoffs bracket. We will be experimenting with the first usage of our live spectating mode in a tournament environment, and see how that goes. And
Pillow, there's one person you forgot to thank, and that is of course yourself, because you put an immense amount of effort into this. So, big thanks to you for organising this, and it's been a great tournament so far, and yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Next week, man, it should be good.
That said, we're gonna double the intensity next week with our playoffs. So I
take back everything you said. That pun was awful.
So make sure you hit that follow button and keep a track of us on our Steam group, and we shall see you 1 week from today, my friends.
See you later.